Good evening, everybody. Are we on?
We are on.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the May 26, 2026 regular City Council meeting. Will you all please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kind sir.
Madam Clerk, when you are ready, will you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite.
Melly at large, present.
Councilman Peter Rivera.
Peter Rivera, Councilman at Large, present.
Councilman Sean Ronan.
Here.
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan.
Ann Heffernan, 1st District, here.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella, 2nd District, here.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali, 3rd District, present.
Councilman Gary Donovan.
Councilman Gary Donovan, 4th District, present.
Councilman Edward McMillan.
Councilman Edward McMillan, 5th District, present.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan, 6th District, present.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker, 7th District, present.
Councilman David Beaton.
Councilman David Beaton, 9th District, present.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani.
Ron Quagliani, 10th District, present.
And Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Chairman Christopher Vargo, 8th District, present.
And we have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we enter into public session, we have one little bit of housekeeping. Commissioner Carano, I understand that there is a slight amendment to Communication B regarding the Neighborhood Assistance Program budget. Can you turn on your mic, please? Thank you. That's $8,000 even? Okay. May I have a motion to amend the agenda to reflect the addition of Connecticut Financial Scholars in the amount of $8,000?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, the time is 7:04, and we will now enter into public session. Will anyone from the public like to address the City Council? Mr. Mullins.
Commission, all seats being filled in the Fairmont Commission. Today on your agenda, which is Communication F, under the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, we have Ralph E. Lawson III, who is for your consideration to serve on the Fairmont Commission, replacing Jamie Conlon. Mr. Lawson
Thank you, and your marriage is safe. Would anyone else like to address the city council? Would anyone else like to address the city council, sir? No. Sir. If you could just state your name and your address. Mr. Altschuler, what I'd like to do is if you want to speak more on this and I'm sorry, you are, ma'am? Okay. Would you mind if what I'd like to do is wrap up public hearing, continue on with our agenda, and then we could have you speak during that agenda item if you don't mind sticking around for a little while. Why don't we do that, okay? Would anyone else from the public like to address the city council? Yes? Haven't seen you in quite a while. How are you? Good. Thank you for your comments. Would anyone else from the public like to address the City Council for a second time? Would anyone from the public like to address the City Council? Third and final time, would anyone from the public like to address the City Council? Seeing none, time is 7:13. Public session is closed. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of May 7, 2026? Motion from Councilman Quagliani. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Tagliatella. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting for May 11th, 2026?
Motion.
Motion from Councilman
Second.
Donovan. Second from Councilman Beaton. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the public hearing May 18, 2026?
Motion.
Motion
Second.
from Councilman McMillan, second from Councilwoman Tucker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, when you are ready, will you please read the communications into the record?
Communication A from Joseph Perno, Chief of Police, regarding the consideration and action on animal shelter donations totaling $11,576.31. Communicate, which is being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication B from Ronald Dumas, CDA Housing Specialist, regarding consideration and action on approval of the Community Development Administration Program Year 52 Neighborhood Assistance Program Budget, City of West Haven Fire Department, Allentown, $5,000, West Haven Community House Association, Inc., $7,149.73, the Ward Heidman House Museum Foundation, Inc., $18,000, and Marrakech, Inc., Marrakesh, Inc., thank you, $20,000, and the additional amended portion of this communication is Connecticut Financial Scholars for in the amount of $8,000, being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication C from John Carano, Commissioner of Human Services, regarding consideration and action on the approval of the proposed CDBG budget as set by the Citizens Advisory Committee for Program Year 52, July 1, 2026 to June 30, 2027, being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication D from the tax collector regarding the tax suspense list for Grand List 2022. The complete list can be viewed in its entirety at the tax collector's office, being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication E from the tax collector's office regarding the refund of overpayments for May 2026 will be filed with tonight's minutes. Communication F from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the appointment of Ralph P. Lawson III, 1 Colonial Boulevard, West Haven, to the Fair Rent Commission. Mr. Lawson's appointment will replace Jamie Connellan, and his term will expire on his term will become effective immediately and expire on May 30th, 2028, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication G from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the reappointment of Lenora C. Rodriguez, 399 3rd Avenue, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Elderly Commission. Her recent term expired on February 25th, 2025, and her new term would become effective immediately and expire on May 31st, 2031, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication H from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the approval of a resolution allowing the City of West Haven to make application to the Connecticut Department of Economic Development and Community Investment Fund for up to $2,890,000 to undertake the downtown placemaking project and to execute an assistance agreement, being assigned to the Finance Committee, Chairwoman Akbar Ali. Communication I from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on approval of a resolution authorizing the City of West Haven to enter into a real property tax incentive agreement with Zupardi's Frozen Food LLC for the redevelopment of 775 First Avenue, being assigned to the Communication I Tax Deferral Committee, Chairman Ronan. And Communication J from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on approving the exclusive use of 10 parking spaces located at city-owned property at 9 Curtis Place, also known as the Alschuler parking lot, to the Alschuler Building LLC or their successors, Being assigned to the Public Lands Committee, Chairman Donovan. Communication K from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the approval of the tentative agreement reached between the City of West Haven and the United Public Service Employees Union, UPSEU slash COPS, for the period of July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2030, being assigned to the Public Safety Committee, Chairman Beaton. Communication L from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the reappointment of Teddy McKenna, 202 Campbell Avenue, West Haven, to the Elderly Commission. Ms. McKenna's reappointment will become effective immediately and will expire on January 31st, 2030, being assigned.
It's wrong on the agenda.
Oh, it's health. On McKenna also?
Yes.
Oh.
No. Mullins is on health.
Yeah, I'm on McKenna.
I'm sorry.
Hang
Keep
on.
going.
Hang on. Ready? No. Okay. All right. Where was I? Communication L from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the reappointment of Teddy McKenna, 202 Campbell Avenue, West Haven, to the Elderly Commission. Ms. McKenna's reappointment will become effective immediately and will expire on January 31st, 2030, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication M from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the reappointment of Jean Mullins, 22 Oak Road, West Haven, to the Board of Health. Ms. Mullins' reappointment will become effective immediately and will expire on January 31st, 2031, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. Communication N from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding transferring a portion of city-owned property located at 281 Front Avenue rear to the budding owner of 295 Front Avenue, Mr. Leo Cilia, being assigned to the Public Lands Committee, Chairman Donovan. And last but not least, Communication O from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the appointment of Mark Cavallaro, 331 Platte Avenue, West Haven, to the Zoning Board of Appeals panel of alternates. Mr. Cavallaro's appointment will be filling a vacancy, and his term will become effective immediately and expire on January 31st, 2031, being assigned to the Personnel and Civil Service Committee, Chairman Ronan. And that concludes our communications for this evening, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Excellent job. Never listened to me, but I was right once.
You were
4
once.
weeks ago. Once.
Yes. In 6 years, yes.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Maybe twice.
I love you. The time is 7:21. We will recess into committee meetings. First up is Public Safety Committee, Chairman Beaton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Time now is 7:21. The Committee on Public Safety is now in session. Members present are Councilwoman Heffernan, Councilman Donovan, Councilman Ronan, Councilwoman Garthwaite, myself, Councilman Beaton, acting as chair. We have before us tonight Communications K from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the approval of the tentative agreement reached between the City of West Haven and the United Public Service Employees Union, UPSEU/COPS, for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2030. I would like to entertain a motion to bring this favorably out of whole council.
Motion.
Motion, Councilman Donovan. Second, Councilwoman Heffernan. Mayor Boer.
Sure. Where's Chris? Chris, you want to join me? Thank you. So for those of you who don't know Chris, he is our chief labor negotiator, and I want to thank him for all the work he does because he has great knowledge for negotiating contracts across the state, so he's able to bring to the table what neighboring cities do and what the averages are, so we lean on him a lot for all of that. So while David, our finance director, our acting finance director, can help with questions regarding contingency costs or similar questions related to income and expenses, Chris is our guide. But I wanted to first actually cue us up and put a little preface around the analysis and put things into perspective and why I think this is a fair contract, because it provides the compensation for our men and women of our police department with a fair compensation package that they deserve, but at the same time balances out the cost for the city. So starting with the COLA is a 2.75% COLA. The average for a COLA increase for police officers is between 2.5 and 3.0. So we're right in the middle. We're right at the average for the COLA cost of living. Everybody deserves. It's actually lower than many industries. The COLA average for police officers, I want to point out. You will also see $1 in addition to the COLA in the out years. And this $1 is really to get our officers, true them up to be competitive with our neighboring communities and communities that are of our size. So we always look at the cities around us and cities that are comparable in population and activity. So for far too long, our officers have been under the average for our neighboring cities, and we believe that this is an opportunity to bring them to where they belong. We also know that we hear a lot about it's difficult to recruit police officers these days. Police work is very demanding. It's stressful. It's irregular hours. It takes a toll on you emotionally and physically, and it takes you away from your family very often. So we need to make sure we're doing what we can do to keep West Haven safe and to keep our officers in line with a competitive salary so that they want to come to West Haven. It also, this compensation package is also a retention tool because it's not only about attracting new officers, but it's keeping our officers. So when we lose an officer, it's not like any other position where we can just turn around and recruit someone and fill it quickly. We are at the mercy of the academy. Our timing is not sometimes our timing, so now we have to wait to work on our recruitment. And then when we recruit someone, hopefully they don't go to another city. But there's also a training period, and we have officers that come on a little green. And you can't put a price tag on the experience that our officers that have been here for years bring to the table. I know, as I'm looking out in the audience, I see one officer in particular who is getting ready to leave this year. I'm not going to say his name, but he's just one of a few that have spoken to the chief about leaving. So I think now that we have TA'd this contract, they will be staying. And I think that speaks volumes to their commitment to want to stay to West Haven. And that is why we put this dollar on the out years and not in the 2020, the retention year and this year. And I want to thank the police officers because when we first started negotiating, they did want this dollar and on top of the average COLA. And it was right around the time that we determined that there was going to be a deficit within the Board of Education that we spoke about. And I asked them if they could hang in there with this commitment, and we are committed to them, and we will make sure we fairly compensate them to the level that we can. And to their credit, they came back to the table and they said, we understand and we're committed to West Haven. So not only are they committed in what they do every single day for us, but they understood the finances and they're willing to wait and hang on in our department. And I commend them for that. So just want to, summarize. So overall, while it's our job to balance out the cost of government, I hope that everybody looks at this, our council members, but also our residents, our communities, look at these line items. I don't look at them as an expense. I look at them as an investment into our community because it's very difficult, as I said, to put a price tag on our safety. And what you see in the news every day is just the tip of the iceberg of what they do for us. There's significant critical work that happens behind the scenes. And I thank them for that. And I thank our chief for that. I know, every team needs a good leader. And we have an excellent leader, and I appreciate that. So with that, I will take a pause and let Chris do his thing, if I didn't steal all his thunder. I'm sorry, Chris. 2 other things I want to mention. We did have an increase in the health insurance. So we went at 2.5% in the cost share for the health insurance. So that's more that we've gone up in that cost share in a number of years, and we know the cost of health insurance escalates. So the union is willing to pay more for the health insurance, but also something else that we added to this contract We entered into a MOU with the police union regarding PEOs. And those are those new, they were called constables. We changed the title in the budget, as you recall. Those are parking enforcement officers. And the reason that was key for the city is because we want our officers spending their time on critical high level work out in our community and not necessarily going up and down our streets looking for cars to tag. So by allowing us to hire PEOs to do that work, that is going to help us with overtime, because now we're going to supplement that. And you need the union's commitment to do that, because technically it can be considered a portion of union work. So those PEOs we hire are going to help us with beach patrol. They're going to help us with patrol around our train stations. They're going to, by the way, we gave 1,289 tickets at our train station in the past 6 months. Gives you an idea of the volume just at the train station. And they're going to be able to help us with the snowstorms as well. So when our police officers are out there trying to work the accidents, which we saw the last 2 blizzards, and everybody's like, why aren't you towing the cars? This is going to help supplement that. And we needed the union's agreement to do that. So I thank them again for that as well. So now I will really pause and turn it back over to Chris. Thank you.
Any discussion or questions from the committee? Councilman Donovan.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening. How are you? When times were tough here in West Haven, and the PD had their contracts up, did they take any zeros?
I believe there were 4 years of zeros, and then there was ARPA money that made up for 2021 maybe, to help offset it. That didn't, it still was at the bottom,
Right.
but not at the extreme bottom.
No, I just didn't know how many years, because some people in the public may not know that that the PD West Haven took zeros, and that hurts dramatically. So. Yeah, so I just wanted to let people know that if they feel this is too much, it's not by any not by any stretch of the imagination. So thank you for that. Thank you, Chairman.
And the members from the committee. Councilman Ronan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Hodgson. It's good seeing you. Great job as always. I'd like to address the chief and the police body here. I want to thank you guys for your investment in West Haven. We're reinvesting in you. I was on that council when we had a lot of lean years, and I appreciate your commitment to the city, and I hope we're going to become on parity with our neighboring communities. I hate losing you guys. You know, we invest in you, and we want you to stay here. And I appreciate all your hard work. Ms. Bollettieri had a pretty attentive audience tonight about the noise ordinance. So if you guys could just keep up the good work, stay safe, and we appreciate you guys, and I'm glad to be able to be on a more complimentary contract for you guys, and bring you guys up. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Discussion or comments from the committee. Councilwoman Heffernan.
So I noticed that there are educational benefits. How does that pair with other cities, that the amount of money we give to our officers to continue their education, to better themselves with education? $2,500 a year? Do you?
Yeah, I know it wasn't increased in this contract. I would say some departments offer it, some don't. I think the chiefs who offer it, it's a reward for people who've achieved the degree. And then, to my knowledge, I believe we do some tuition reimbursement.
That's what I meant. I was asking about the tuition reimbursement. How, is that?
I would say most departments do that, and that would be consistent.
And that's the consistent number?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And for promotional purposes, when you say an E4, is that giving veterans benefits when they're taking their tests? For promotional?
The change in the promotion language
Okay.
Was just to say we're going to give 3 months notice as opposed to 8. I'm not sure about the veterans.
Thank you.
Chris, we meet again. A long time from our days against each other in Hamden. One of the questions that the committee we had earlier, and Chief Perno asked, the elimination of the crime prevention officer. Chief Perno said that was absorbed by another entity. Is that correct? Thank you, Chief. Any discussion or questions from the committee as a whole? I'm sorry, the council as a whole. Chairman Vargo.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody that put in the work, Mayor, your staff and your team, Chief, Deputy Chief Romano, all of the women and men here. You all stuck with us during some very difficult times. We can't undo years of degradation and disparity in your pay in a blink of an eye and in one budget. So thank you for working with the city. Contracts like this are very dissimilar to other contracts that typically come before this body. It's not just about dollars and cents. Obviously that's important, but this is about investing in the women and men who every single day put on a uniform to protect us and take care of us. And I hope that this contract tells you that the city of West Haven stands with you, and we thank you and we appreciate you, and that we can get just a little bit closer to where we should be at the end of this, and then that way we could just keep moving forward. So just to everybody that's in this room and everybody that's not here, but that's under your command, chiefs, thank you.
Anyone else on the council? Mayor Boer?
The only other thing I wanted to add to Councilwoman Heffernan's question about, we did not increase the educational assistance because of the university, right? So police officers, fire, and dispatch can go for free of cost for either their bachelor's or their master's. So we felt that was What's that?
The fees, the university fees, are those waived as well?
Everything's waived.
Oh, okay, I didn't
Yep.
know that part. Thank you.
But we kept, the assistants in there because maybe not everybody wants to go to University of New Haven. But that's why we didn't adjust it in this contract. Yep. And just to emphasize Chris's point, again, thank you for all you do. I know you get a lot of accolades. Sometimes not as many as you should, but this is a way for us to demonstrate our thankfulness to you. So thank you.
To the officers in the room, I was a firefighter for 25 years, and I always felt that if they didn't need us, that was the best protection that we had, And I have a daughter that works for ERS, and she just glows and glows and is so proud of the work that she tells me about you guys doing it day in, day out. And I just want to thank you for surviving the lean times. And I'm new to this council, but the effort that the mayor, the people that work for the city and this council are doing to put a good faith effort in, we want you to stay. We need you to stay. You are a wonderful part of this community. You are the fabric of our community. And we thank you. Councilman Donovan?
Yeah, just one more thing. And again, I reiterate exactly what Councilman Beaton said. I read about 98%, which was a lot for me to read a lot. 2% I'm worried about. Somebody's not trying to slide in a war machine, are they? In that request for a war machine? Just want to make sure. I just want to make sure that wasn't in
That's
that
an inside
2%
joke.
I didn't read. It's actually an inside joke for some of us.
That the mayor won't let us have.
But thank you.
Powerball is $311 million tonight. I have 4 tickets.
Any more questions from the council as a whole? I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Councilwoman. Just a committee, I'm sorry, just committee, sorry. Just committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Just a committee. Let me read this. Mr. Chairman, Public Safety Committee is now closed. Time is 7:40.
Thank you. This time at 7:41, I'm going to reconvene the council as a whole. Councilman Beaton, do you have the resolution for Communication K?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Would you please read it into the record and make a motion?
To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Public Safety, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding Communication K from tonight's agenda, reports that committee met on the 26th day of May 2026 to consider said matter. It is the unanimous majority opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Whereas, pursuant to the provision of Connecticut General Statute Section 7-467, the City of West Haven and the employees representative of the United Public Service Employees Union, UPSEU/COPS, engaged in collective bargaining and arrived at a tentative agreement for an employee contract commencing retroactive July 1st, 2025, and to expire on June 30th, 2030, which agreement has now been reduced to writing. And whereas, pursuant to the provision of Connecticut General Statute Section 7-474, the proposed written tentative agreement has now been submitted to the West Haven City Council for its approval. Now, therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves and authorizes the city to enter into the agreement between the City of West Haven and the United Public Services Employee Union, UPSEU/COPS. Further resolved, Dorinda Boer, as mayor of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do and perform all acts and things which she deems to necessarily or appropriate to carry out the terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements, and documents contemplated by such documents. And I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Beaton regarding approval of a tentative agreement between the City of West Haven and United Public Service Employees Union, UPSEU/COPS. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Heffernan. Just for the record, Councilwoman Akbarelli and Councilman Quagliani are going to be abstaining from this vote because of their personal relationship with the West Haven Police Department, and that is why they are going to be abstaining today. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Melly Garthwaite,
Yes.
Councilman Peter Rivera,
Yes.
Councilman Sean Ronan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ann Heffernan,
Aye.
Councilwoman Nancy Tagliatella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Sarah Akbarali,
I abstain.
Councilman Gary Donovan,
Absolutely, yes.
Councilman Edward McMillan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dawn Callahan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Catherine Tucker,
Yes.
Councilman David Beaton,
Yes.
Councilman Ronald Quagliani,
Abstain.
and Chairman Christopher Vargo.
Yes.
And we have
Motion passes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you all. Please be safe. Thank you. Yeah. Deputy Chief Romano, will you mind sticking around for a little while? Thank you, sir. Okay, the time is 7:45, and we will recess back into committee meetings. Next up is the Finance Committee Chairwoman Akbarelli.
Thank you, Chairman. The time is now 7:46, and your Committee on Finance is now in session. Members present are Councilman Donovan, Councilman Quagliani, Councilwoman Tucker, Councilwoman Garthwaite, and myself, Councilwoman Akbarali, as chair. First, we have our. Are we not doing the finance updates tonight? Mm-hmm. We're good. Okay. We're going to do communication A from Joseph Perno, Chief of Police, regarding
Madam
consideration.
Chair?
Yes.
Finance updates first.
Oh, there, because it wasn't on my agenda.
No?
No, I have no idea why.
Yeah. Mr. Taylor is here.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. I'm sorry. We'll do our finance updates first. I'm sorry.
Oh, David.
Mr. Taylor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but your mic is not transmitting. It's not even working online.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now try.
You can probably hear me with it.
Dave, can you try that one?
Work now?
Try it.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Don't do
Test. Turn back on. Hello. Anything?
Try again.
So it's probably Gary's mic.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. All right. So as I was saying, there's really no change to the sewer or the city. We are seeing $400,000 surplus at the Ellington Fire Department, driven by better than expected tax collection, as well as our bundle billing, which we've shifted servicers. It's been a very successful shift, and they're doing a much better job at translating our billing into cash. So we're really happy about that. Just to say, it says $400,000 revenue, surplus here. However, as some of you may know, we typically come at the end of the year and request to take any surplus earned at that entity and put it towards the pension. That pension is not as well funded as the police pension, and so it's usually a really good idea to do that. Okay. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Any questions for Mr. Taylor on the committee? Councilman Tucker?
Good evening.
Hi.
Is there any update from and it might be for the mayor, the question might be for the mayor, with the state now closing out their budget, are we going to receive any additional funds from the state to our budget that we didn't anticipate?
We did. I talked about it in my presentation. So we had received additional, wait, do you mean additional in comparison to the budget I presented?
Yes, because I thought did they release additional funds?
We specifically released our budget after they told us what they were giving.
Okay.
So that is included in the budget.
Okay.
So there's nothing since the budget was released. No.
Okay.
Their date of closure was May 6th. We presented May 7th intentionally.
Okay. Thank you. That was my question.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions? Councilman Quagliani?
Thank you, Chair. David, just so it looks like you said, it looks like everything kind of consistent from our last update. So projection is 2.2 in the negative. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And the two drivers for that is investment income and the board education?
I would reverse the order of that, but yes.
I didn't say the magnitude of that. I said, right. Understood. Okay, thank you. That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions? I'll open it up to the entire council. Anyone on the council have any questions for Mr. Taylor? Councilman Callahan?
Thank you, Councilwoman. Good evening.
Hello.
The 400K surplus in Allentown, is that from the taxes?
I can't remember exactly the percentage of it, but some of it's due to tax collection being better than we forecasted.
Okay, that's good news.
You've already heard in the past, how successful we've been with motor vehicles, and that's pushing a lot of it. The rest of it is our bundle billing, which is the billing we send out to people when we transport them in a ambulance. We don't call them ambulance. Paramedics vehicle. I can't remember what they call them.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you. All set. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions for Mr. Taylor on the council? Seeing there are no more, thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you.
For the updates. I appreciate it. All right, now we will reconvene to Communication A from Joseph Perno, Chief of Police, regarding consideration and action on animal shelter donations totaling $11,576.31. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the committee or concerns? Anyone on the council? Seeing there are no more questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Communication B from Ronald Dumas, CDA Housing Specialist, regarding consideration and action on the approval of the Community Development Administration Program Year 52 Neighborhood Assistance Program budget. City of West Haven Fire Department, Allentown, $5,000. West Haven Community House Association, Inc., $7,149.73. The Ward Heitman House Museum Foundation, Inc., $18,000. Marrakesh, Inc., $20,000. And the Connecticut Financial Scholars, $8,000. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Mayor Board, did you want to speak on this first?
I'm going to let Ron talk about the details, but I just want to thank the department for everything that they do. They're an undervalued department. Him, Rosa, and John are quite a team down there, and they're always working very hard when I come down there. So I thank them for for their commitment to West Haven because they do a lot of great stuff for the our safety nets in the community mostly.
Absolutely, I agree. Hi, Ron. How are
Hi,
you?
how are you?
Good, thank you.
I can start? Okay. Again, my name is Ron Dumas. I'm the housing specialist for the Office of Community Development. Since I've been here over the last 3.5, 4 years, this has been my role as the liaison for the Neighborhood Assistance Program, tax credit program. And basically my role is to notify, and I work off a previous year's distribution list. I notify those individuals that the applications are available. I, in turn, give them about 6 weeks to give their applications back to me. I present that package to you, the council, and I ask for your approval or not of those applications. Over the years, the applications have been approved by council. I thank you for that. I think these applications do go a long way for the residents and citizens of the city of West Haven, and that's a good thing. So again, John passed out an amended copy of my original package to you today, and I'll just briefly go over the 5 applications very, very quickly. So the Allentown Fire Department is looking for $5,000 for their child safety car seat program and installation program. The West Haven Community House is looking for $7,149.73 for a new freezer for their Head Start program. The Ward Heitman House Foundation is looking for $18,000 to insulate the Ward Heitman House as they reside the structure there. Marrakesh is looking for $20,000 for new windows and for energy efficiency purposes for their location at 33 Lake Street. And again, this new submission that we received sometime today. John is going to explain a little bit about that.
So I apologize for the late on the Connecticut Financial Scholars. Since they're new to the system, they were looking to get a hold of us. They sent an email to the wrong location. The woman got a hold of me today, ironically, and when I found out what they did, I felt it was important to get it on the agenda. A lot of times it's, you know what, you're too late, you missed. But what these people do, if you've, our own Eric Russell, who's up at the state now, Eric is pioneering a program which is to teach students, children, before they graduate, personal finance. And what this is about is that exact program where they're going to go to the state and ask for $8,000 to enable our students to get a personal finance course on the way out. So how to balance your checkbook, how to do some pretty basic things, which is, a lot of the kids aren't coming out with that. So it really is a big program. If it wasn't so important, I would have not complicated your life tonight like that, but I felt it was necessary. So that's what that's all about. We talked to the Board of Education, and they were very into making sure this program got added. So.
And as part of your packages, I included a brief description of what the Neighborhood Assistance Program is about, so that you can have it for yourself. If you approve these applications, I submit them to the state by July 1. The state will get back to me by sometime in August to let me know if they were approved by not, and if so, by what percentages. And I therefore inform the organizations. So I thank you for listening to us, and listening to me, and I ask for your approval.
Thank you so much. I just had a quick question about the Connecticut Financial Scholars Program. Do the students have to apply? How does that program work?
No, there's actually, it appears that the $8,000 is to help offset some teacher costs. So there's 3 teachers that are actually teaching this through our school system in our curriculum today. And if it hadn't already been going on, I would have not allowed it. But since it's already going on, we have I'm going to say her name wrong, but her name is Sheila Craigie. She is. You got it? Thank you. That was close, right? She's the one that's in charge of this at the school system, and I wound up getting a hold of her today. And it was the Connecticut scholarship that put in for it, and they're out of Philadelphia, so things were a little squirrely, but we got it all together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Does anyone on the committee have any questions? Councilman Quagliani?
Thank you, Chair. So, Ron, how you doing?
Good.
Good. So every year I know that this comes in front of the council and we approve, I guess that's a ceiling, right? The number that can be committed to each entity. Do we know what the actual results are, right? Because these are incentives for corporations, right? For tax incentives. So
Correct.
do they typically make the bogey? Like, are they typically fully funded after that, or how does that work? Do we get any results?
The energy conservation programs, efficiency programs of these applications are usually funded at 100%.
Okay.
Child care services, such as Allentown Fire Department, that would probably be funded at 60%. So.
And it's a menu for them, right? The
That's
corporations decide, okay, I want to fund this, but
Yes.
I want to give money to that, but not that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Helpful.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions on the committee?
Just a quick question about Marrakesh. You said that's located in West Haven, right?
West Haven, 33 Lake Street.
Lake Street.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any more questions? Mayor Bohr?
Did you say, was there somebody else? Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.
To answer Councilwoman Tucker's question, so I went on a tour recently on Island Lane for their main headquarters, and it's just amazing what they do for our special needs population. And they have a few group homes in West Haven, and I visited those as well. And there's dedicated staff that actually is there 24/7, and you know, it gives individuals an opportunity to, you know, they have their own bedrooms, and you know, they take them to our parade, and so they're, you know, it's the family that they live with is really the staff that cares for them, and it's a really, we're very fortunate to have them here in West Haven, and I think that they would be happy to have anybody come and tour and see the work that they do.
Thank you, Mayor Bohr. Anyone else on the committee have any questions? I'll open up to the entire council. All right, no more questions. Chairman, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve a public hearing on this communication.
Motion.
Thank you. Second. And Chairman, we set it for next meeting.
Yes, we'll do 6/8 at 6:57.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate it. And thank you, Ron. I appreciate
Thank you.
it. All right, our next communication is Communication C from John Carano, Commissioner of Human Resources, regarding consideration and action on the approval of the proposed CDBG budget as set by the Citizen Advisory Committee for program year 52, July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Mayor Bohr, did you want to say something first?
Nope, they got it.
All right. Go ahead, John.
So we're going to be referring to, in your packets, I believe you have a 8.5 by 14. That's our budget, and I'll be explaining what that is. But I want to start out with, there's a lot of new council members here, so I want you to understand what the Community Development Agency here in West Haven does. Our function is to manage and administer the Community Development Block Grant that comes from the HUD and the federal government. That's our only function, is to manage that project. On our team, you saw Ron. Ron Dumas is our housing specialist. So when we have programs where people are putting in ramps or windows or roofs, Ron goes out, checks it out, makes sure it's complete. He goes through his gamut. We also have legendary Rosa Richardson, who's the administrative assistant for 17 years. She's equivalent to my Stacy Riccio, if you will. She knows where everything's buried. She knows everything about everything. So she's really important for us. Our budget is controlled by the Citizen Advisory Committee. The mayor appoints, or the council appoints, 7 members to the committee. They are Michelle Miller, Colleen O'Connor, Robin Watt Hamilton, Kathy Hebert, which is here. Thank you for coming, Kath. Roberta Garlock, Carol Eagles, and Paige Weinstein. So the process we have is, as a community development agency, we create a 5-year plan, and then each year, as we get applications, we see how they marry up to what our 5-year plan goals are. And based on that is whether you get approved or not. What we do is there's certain budget guidelines. Anytime you get federal money, everybody knows there's a lot of, okay, you have to do this, not this. There's a lot of reporting that needs to be done. There's 3 major parts of a budget when it comes to CDA. There is the public services, which are somebody like a wheat, where we want to, they want some money to help offset the cost of one of their employees. That services the low income people. There is capital improvements, which are structural improvements that happen to various locations. And there are administrative. So the pay for the people in the CDA office, not including me, but Rosa and Ron, come out of the grant money, as well as any other office things that we need to do. Not in the budget is we have a revolving line of credit that is a revolving line with money in it that's used to loan and lend to low, moderate income individuals that meet certain guidelines. We'll lend that money if they want windows, if they need doors, there's a roof, everything needs to be structural. It's nothing aesthetic. Handicap ramps, as you've seen out there, and stair lifts and things like that. The Citizen Advisory Committee, I know, look, we've all served on many committees that are thankless. There's no more thankless than the Citizen Advisory Committee. They do an unbelievable job. They have to deal with people that are coming in, and everybody that comes in and puts in applications for CDA money, it's for a good cause, right? I'm trying to help this person. I'm trying to rape crisis center. We're trying to help special needs kids. And to have to cut people back, it's hard. And they have to cut back 30, 40%. Sometimes they have to cut back people's requests and determine which people get money and which people don't. So their job is really hard. And we meet for an 8-week period once a week for 2 to 2.5 hours a night. So they put in a lot of time to eventually go back and say, you got your money, you didn't get your money, we cut your money. So it's an interesting thing. So the first page of the budget is the public service side. The second page of the budget is the capital improvement side, and the third page of the budget is the administrative side. So on the public services side, we can only spend, by federal law, 15% of our total budget on these services. Okay, so if you look in the middle column where it says funded amount PY 51, that's the current year we're in, and it goes to July. This past year, the bottom number, the subtotal for public service was $90,000. Our total grant, if you look at the top line, was $615,000. Next year, our grant is going to be $634,000, which means we're going to be able to spend $95,000 in this category. That's it, not a nickel over. Okay, we had requests for almost $900,000 in this category. So the Citizen Advisory Committee needed to go in and take that $900,000 and drop it to, 200 and the total grant was $871. There was $232,000 requested in this category, and they had to drop it to $95,000. What we tried to do in here was to give you who the agency was requesting it, and then what the funds will be used for. I can go through each one, or I can open up the public services if you have any questions about why we did give somebody something or why we did not give somebody something. Just like
I can have the
the
committee
budgets.
ask questions. Councilman
Okay.
Donovan?
Yeah. How you doing, John? Hi, stranger. The youth family services, the SIB shops.
Yes.
I know you weren't requesting a lot. Is that something you're still going to do? Is that tied in, or is that flatline now?
So Youth and Family Services has what the Citizen Advisory Committee needs to do is take a look at what other avenues certain people have to be able to get money, right? The SIB shops, what you'll notice is in the 4 programs, the Citizen Advisory Committee gave Youth and Family Services the exact same amount they gave last year. They just didn't put any in that SIB shops. So what we'll do in Youth and Family Services now is we'll work with Diane and get a different way to get that money.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairwoman.
You're welcome. Anyone on the committee have any questions? Councilwoman Tucker?
I have, looking at the, I guess it's the second page under capital investments.
Yes.
And I'm going right there, the Board of Ed, because that's a huge chunk of change.
Yeah.
For the BOE.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great one. Now, understand, the Board of Ed is actually doing us a favor because we are putting a playground in the Savin Rock area, and Board of Ed is letting us use their property. So this isn't money that's going to the Board of Education. This is going to the Savin Rock area where we are putting up a playground that is getting torn down right now because it's falling apart on the Board of Ed property.
Thank you.
Any more questions? I just had a quick question about the Ward Heitman House, the structural improvements.
Yes.
What type of improvements are being made?
It's the siding. Originally, they were.
I'm sorry, Rosa, could you just speak into the mic? I apologize.
Originally, they were looking for funding for the roof, but were able to get a $100,000 grant for that purpose.
Okay.
So they will be taking care of the siding issues.
Okay. And
possible
insulation
window
too?
issues,
Okay.
depending on the cost, because the windows are very pricey.
Okay. Thank you so much. Anyone else on the committee have any questions? Councilman Quagliani?
I want to follow on your Ward Heitman question. So, the previous communication there's $18,000 for corporate tax incentives, and that was for insulation to wrap the building. I think you had said so. So what happens if they don't get that 18,000? So are they now allowed to utilize this money to wrap the building, and then I guess the follow-on to that is if they are, then we're going to see a building sitting there with just wrapped and no siding, or how's that work that we can encourage them to move it along to actually get a CO and have that place open?
Yeah, I'm going to let Rosa jump in here again, but look, we sat with Ward Heitman House, and the Citizen Advisory Committee, along with the mayor, were very clear. The times of giving them money and things not happening is we can't do that anymore. They have new management. They've done some things to kind of wrap it back into the house itself and not 2 different properties. They sold the house next to them. We were very happy, and the committee asked a lot of questions about this very thing. Look, if we give you the money, is this going to work? Is it too far gone? There's every question you can. This was a very long meeting with the Ward Heitman people, and I think the Citizen Advisory Committee at the end of the day was comfortable that if we give them this money, this is like the push they need to really get this project going. What happens if they don't get the 18? I don't think that's going to be an issue, but go ahead.
If they don't do step 1, then they won't get the money for step 2, which is what has happened repeatedly in the past. When we don't give them the money goes back into the our general fund, okay? And we have an opportunity to reallocate those funds. But we don't just give anybody the money. When they're ready for it, they'll request it. And that's what our housing specialist does. He goes out, he monitors it, he makes sure that the work is being performed and to HUD standards, and then we pay them through reimbursement or we pay the contractor directly. But never do we exchange any funding with them.
And do you know what the next step would be? So say in the perfect world, they wrap the building and they side the building. So then now they have the building with a roof on it and siding. And Is there other pieces of that capital project, or are they able to now?
In addition, they're working with West Haven High School, and they're getting students to volunteer their time, and they're going inside and doing the reparations indoors, like removing mold and such, so that it can reopen and be available to the general public and to our students.
The first thing was to dry it in, dry in the building, and then start working on the inside.
So do we think that they'll be back again next year, or do you think that in your conversations they were close?
I think they'll be back for additional capital next year, but not for this. I think this is a progressive kind of thing. But they were very confident in their new management and their ability to gain some resources. They have, I don't want to say a war chest, but they have a little bit of money where they're going to be able to do a lot of this and not solely rely just on this money. So I'm sure there'll be, I don't want to say there's not going to be something else, but I think we're close.
All right, great. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Garthwaite?
Hi, Rosa. Hi, John.
Hi.
Going back to Savin Rock School,
Mhm.
we did have a refresh of the playground with ARPA funds, correct?
Not Savin Rock.
Not Savin Rock School?
There was some work that they did. They originally removed the rubber because there were issues with drainage there. Once that was removed, they added mulch. That's all they did. But there was constant vandalism there, and it became irreparable. So at that point, Savin Rock is a Title I school, right? That neighborhood is low to moderate income. That's our mission. Our mission is to make sure that we take care to our low to moderate income individuals and families. And this is by far one of the most appropriate things we can do by adding a playground structure to our elementary school, which will be available. And we have been working with the PD and the mayor's office with ensuring that it will be secured in the evenings.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
And it's one of our busiest playgrounds in the city.
It really is. Yeah.
So, yes, it's one of our busiest playgrounds in the city. It's low mod income, and we are working with we worked with the Board of Education with Mike McGrath and Chris, and we're going to work with the police department to have a schedule, almost like we closed the beach lots to close this
Great
playground.
idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, thank you.
I'll open it up to the whole council. Councilman Beaton?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner, ma'am, when an application is submitted and denied, do you then work with that entity to help them improve their application? Do you give them reasons as to why their application was denied?
Yes, each time. It all depends on each one of the ones here that was denied. We've contacted them already and explained why. There's lots of different reasons for all of them. We can go into some of them if you have anything in particular. Yeah. So we would let them know that hey, this is what happened. This is what the Citizen Advisory Committee recommended. Here's what you can do better or some things just don't fit, right? Sometimes people want to come for the money and what they're asking for just doesn't fit our 5-year plan, and it's just not something that we can do.
You all set, Councilman? You're very welcome. Chairman Vargo?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner, how are you?
I'm
Rosa.
well.
First and foremost, I would push back on anybody that tries to compare someone else to Stacy, but Rosa, you are definitely just saying. As an applicant, former applicant twice through your organization, you're right. Your department and your committee are thankless heroes. You provide financial support to community organizations that provide a service to the community who would not otherwise be able to afford whatever it is that they need to do, and you help them help the residents and the folks in West Haven that need those services the most. So thank you for everything that you all do. I do want to circle back quickly, though, back onto Ward Heitman. I think that you're hearing a little bit of the concern that some of us have, only because it's not that we don't support, the rehabilitation of the house, but we want to make sure that whatever it is that your department and we agree with to commit to them is going to be useful, and it's going to eventually get them over the finish line. I know that we've moved on from the NAA, but it kind of ties in. I recall that last year they received some credits. Do we know if those actually went through? Did they do what they were supposed to do? They didn't get anything?
I'm not sure that they did receive.
I couldn't recall. I thought that they were on the.
I don't believe
the
they
list.
were on there last year.
Okay.
They were going through a transition period.
Okay.
At that point.
Yeah, my only concern is I just want to make sure that whatever dollars are committed, not from the credits, but from actual dollars that could benefit community organizations, that they be fruitful. And if this is going to really assist them to reopen that facility, then I'm all for it. But I want to make sure that they have the wherewithal and the plan to see it through.
Chair, nobody understands better than the Community Development Administration after several years of them receiving funds and never following through. We understand your plight, and I can assure you that, as John has stated, we were very diligent. We were very diligent with our questions. Our Citizen Advisory Committee was very, very concerned because those funds sat. And let me remind the council, when the Community Development Administration awards funding to agencies, okay, and Chris, you can attest to this, we have timeliness deadlines that we have to meet, and nothing serves us well when we don't meet timeliness. Okay, there are a lot of things that can happen, including the loss of funds. So we're on top of those things, and we're going to reallocate if necessary. If they're not getting it done, as we have had discussions in the past with them, we'll just take the money back and reuse it. It's that simple. Okay? And although we don't currently have a manager, our Citizen Advisory Committee can reallocate those funds, unfortunately not into the public service area or into the general admin area, but they can certainly reallocate those funds.
Thank you. Honestly, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. I do know firsthand how much of a watchdog you are on making sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. So if you're comfortable, I am. But thank you for the explanation. It makes me feel better. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're very welcome. Councilman McMillan.
Good evening. I'll be really quick. I just wanted to speak on BH Care and how it speaks to the domestic violence services. And I know there's a lot of speaking that happens here a lot. So how can we make sure that that's really getting out to the public and that the people that are coming here speaking know that, yes, there is money is being allocated to take care of the domestic violence, where the mayor is working tirelessly to make sure that is being taken care of.
So as you know, our health department works in concert with BH Care. This particular part of BH Care is for the actual victims when they pick up the phone and call. There's somebody on the other end of the line. So this money here is going to help support that service that the West Haven community gets. Through the court system, yes, I'm sorry.
It's the victim's advocate. These funds offset the salaries for the victim's advocate who follows through the whole court process in Milford. So we assist in her salaries. Okay.
Separately, we work closely with BH Care on the health side for a lot of other things. The flyers you see outside, the thing we had at the beach, a lot of the programs we have coming up are in concert with BH Care. It's not that one. Right. Right. It's the same organization. That's not what that money is for, though.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Callahan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for all you do. Again, I think it just goes on and on how much work goes into all this, and we appreciate it and your hard work and dedication. My question is, and I love that we've talked about this before, Rosa, is about the down payment assistance program, and I noticed that it's funded $50K, and then I guess next year the allocated goes down to 38. Is that something that the state dictates, or is that just comes out of a bucket?
No. So the down payment assistance program, the monies you're seeing here are administrative costs.
Oh,
so we are able to spread our administrative costs. If you look at we're on the third page, all the way at the bottom, it's the income limits.
Right.
Okay. So we're really threading a needle trying to get somebody down payment assistance. So look around West Haven these days. I mean, you're not walking into a house for under 350 maybe, right? If you're making 82,900, you're not qualifying for that mortgage. I mean, unless you have a lot down. So everything needs to line up perfect in order for people in West Haven to be able to qualify for this down payment assistance. And we give them up to 7,500.
But also keep in mind that there are a lot of administrative duties associated with every application that comes in.
Absolutely.
Okay, the review process, the home inspection process, the code inspection process, and all of those, we by HUD's guidelines are able to take advantage of our administrative costs that are associated with those. When in fact we do have a closing on a property, we have the funds available that are already there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is just our administrative.
That's just, that's okay. That's what I was curious about. And has it been successful?
Not recently.
No, the down payment assistance program we haven't really given out too much because again, if you're going to afford a $350,000 or $400,000 home and you can't make more than $80,000, you're probably not qualifying for that, and that's what we're finding. However, since the mayor has come down and put it on her Facebook site earlier in the year, we have more people coming in and asking. We've sent out has to be
hundreds.
7,500, couple hundred of these things.
They
Been
just
amazing.
don't, once they receive the application and begin the process, which, by the way, does include the pre-qual letter with the application when it's returned, they don't come back.
Right. And who does, is that something that we do under your department, the underwriting, or is that something that you field out once you get the, who gets, I guess I'm trying to ask is, who decides the approval, the state? Like when an application comes in, I mean, I know you have guidelines.
As long as they qualify for a mortgage, okay, and they have 3% of the sale of the property from their own funds, then we will give them that additional 7,500. And the purpose behind the down payment assistance program is strictly to reduce the mortgage, the total mortgage amount that they're going to carry with them.
Right, closing costs.
And after 5 years, it's
no
forgiven.
closing costs.
No closing costs.
Only for down payment.
Oh, that's
Can't use it for points.
So you just use it for the down payment?
Use it for the down payment.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, but it's a double-edged sword, like you said, because the prices of houses versus what the income is, and then you have the limits. So, all right, thank you for explaining that. I appreciate that. I think it's important for even still our all of our people in West Haven to know that we offer that as best we can.
Absolutely.
So, and thank you, Mayor, for always advertising for that too. Thank you. Well said.
You're welcome, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Tucker? You just have to put your mic on, I'm sorry.
About Columbus House, the funds are for people that are transitioning into supportive housing, and there's also the services for West Haven Human Resources, social services. Are those kind of like the same aim?
No.
Or are
So
they
at the
different?
Columbus House, they actually have 21 homeless people that they've put up in apartments, and that money goes to help offset that cost.
Oh, okay.
So it's not the Columbus House in New Haven, it's the same organization.
Okay.
But these are for West Haven residents that wound up getting an apartment in West Haven that met that homeless or,
Near
just out of
homeless,
rehab,
yeah.
near homeless category.
Okay. So is that, can you just explain the difference between the two? Columbus House and the other, second to the last, the West Haven Human Resources, yeah.
Oh, human resources is okay. That's
So
that's his job.
So the human resource number here is for people who during the year, if you came up and just are in dire need of rent, or there needs to be certain guidelines that we follow to kind of help. That 5,000 is kind of going to complement the 18,000 that's in the HR budget for client assistance. That's all that is.
Is that for employees?
No.
Oh.
It's for residents.
Oh.
So if if we had a lead case where we needed to relocate somebody, or we needed to put somebody up in a hotel for a little while, or we needed to give somebody a couple $100 to get on their feet for some reason, it's that's what.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions from the council? Mayor Bohr, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I know I'm beating a dead horse, but I have to weigh in on Ward Heitman House just because I have a long history with them and have little information on these grants. First of all, I was on the board for 10 years when it was thriving and a great educational place where there was tours and docents, and then it fell in disarray. And when I was a state representative and had secured the $2 million grant for the downtown cultural and historic investment, $100,000 of that was to go to the Historic Society, and $100,000 of that was to go to the Ward Heitman House. The state put that funding on hold because they did not feel there was an adequate plan or strong management, and there was challenges. So that funding has been on hold for a couple of years now. Fast forward when I became mayor, folks said, well, where's our money? And I said, we can't release it from the state until there are some changes. There is new management now. And then the new management came to me and said, can you help us with our funding? And I strongly suggested that they sell the house next door, because the house was bought next door with the funding from the Ward Heitman House, and it was going to be a rental property or offices, which really, the focus should be on the mission, which was the historic nature of the house and educational purposes, because now we had two houses in disarray on Elm Street, the Ward Heitman House and the house that they purchased that was never renovated. So they took it to heart, sold the house as it is to an investor. Now that house is being worked on, and took the funding, and now are being able to couple it with this funding that's being provided. Once that is, because Councilman Quagliani asked the question, well, what happens? What about the other money? What's the next step? Once that all starts to fall into place, then that $100,000 finally that was originally allocated for them can start to, supposedly, I don't want to speak for the state of Connecticut, but I think they need to see all the ducks are in a row and everything's, properly in line, if you will, then that funding will come into play. And the other thing we had asked the Ward Heitman House was, prior to the funding from the city, prior to asking the state for the funding, that they do an assessment, is this house savable, right? Because we're not going to provide $18,000 for this and $25,000 for this and find out that, it's the oldest house, and it's had a leaky roof, and I drove in the backyard one day just to check on it, and there was people who were unhoused in there. It wasn't secured, so can you save it? So they did do that assessment. So long story short, I think we could be a little bit more assured these days that there's management, they're working on it, they have contractors, and hopefully they have the funding to bring it back to life. And hopefully that house next door gets fixed. And that's that.
Thank you, Mayor Bohr. Any other questions? All right, seeing there are no more questions, Chairman, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve a public hearing for June 8th.
So motion.
Second. Thank you. Chairman, what time should we have that?
Public hearing will be scheduled for June 8th at 6:58.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much to John and Rosa for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to communication D from tax collector regarding the tax suspense list for the grand list 2022. We have the list that can be viewed entirely at the tax collector's office. Mayor Bohr, did you want to speak on this? Oh, I'm sorry. Motion to open. I would like to open this up for discussion. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Second. Mayor Bohr?
This is just something that's required of us before the fiscal year end. We do this every year, and it's taxes these are motor vehicle taxes that can't be collected, and we're required to suspend them.
Thank you so much. Does anyone on the committee have any questions? Councilman Quagliani?
Thank you, Chair. So are we allowed to post this list publicly on our website, or in order to get maybe another opportunity for compliance? I mean, there's a lot of people on that list from 2022 and I think 2021 and as we go back. So it's anything that will help our bottom line. I don't know the answer to the question if it's a public document, if it could be posted or not.
I can ask Rachel to see if she can put it on the website for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? And from the council, any other questions from the council? Seeing there are none, all those approved?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Communication H from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the approval of a resolution allowing the City of West Haven to make application to the Connecticut Department of Economic Development and Community Investment Fund for up to $2,890,000 to undertake the downtown placemaking project and to execute an assistance agreement. I'd like to open this up favorably, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you very much. Mayor Bohr?
So this is a resolution that came before you about, 6 or 8 months ago to apply for community investment funds from the state of Connecticut for the downtown revitalization. We got rejected because of a Department of Transportation component in there where we had bump outs around Campbell and Maine. The DOT felt that contradicted what they're trying to do with their new bus rapid transit program. So they asked that we take it back and remove that component so that they could further study the transportation piece of that. So we have to reply all over again because they can't award you something minus a section. So we did get feedback from them. That is why they rejected it. So we are resubmitting it, and a resubmission requires a resolution.
Thank you so much, Mayor Bohr. Do we have a timeline on this project?
I think the application is due June 7th. And then I think they have 60 days to approve and select. You know, we're competing with 168 other municipalities. We've been very fortunate in our asks. I understand this rejection. I don't like it, but I understand it. So we'll just give it another shot.
Thank you very much. Anyone on the committee have any questions? Anyone on the council? All those approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Chairman, the time is now 8:37 and your Committee on Finance is now closed.
Thank you. Just very quickly for the record before we move on to the next committee, the mic at the podium was not working during communication A. So I just wanted to say that the city's negotiator echoed much of what the mayor had communicated, and the crime prevention position was absorbed into the public information officer position. And I think those were the only two items in the that were spoken about that did not make it onto the record. So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving on to Personnel and Civil Service. Chairman Ronan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The time is 8:38. Your Committee on Personnel and Civil Service is now in session. Members present are councilpersons Akbar Ali, Rivera, Tagliatella, Garthwaite, and myself, Ronan, acting as chair. We have before us tonight Communication F from tonight's agenda, which is a request from Mayor Boer requesting consideration and action on the appointment of Ralph P. Lawson III, 1 Colonial Boulevard, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Fair Rent Commission. Mr. Lawson's appointment will replace Jamie Connellan, and his term will expire on May 30th, 2028. I would like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. We have before us tonight Communication G from tonight's agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the reappointment of Lenora C. Rodriguez, 399 3rd Avenue, West Haven, Connecticut, to the Elderly Commission. Her recent term expired on February 25th, 2025. Her new term would be effective immediately and expire on May 31st, 2031. I'd like to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. We have before us tonight Communication L from this evening's agenda, a request from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the reappointment of Teddy McKenna, 202 Campbell Avenue, West Haven, to the Elderly Commission. Ms. McKenna's reappointment will become effective immediately and will expire on January 31st, 2030. I would like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. We have before us tonight Communication M from tonight's agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on the reappointment of Jean Mullins, 22 Oak Road, West Haven, to the Health Commission. Ms. Mullins' reappointment will become effective immediately and will expire on January 31st, 2031. I would like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. We have before us tonight Communication O from tonight's agenda from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration regarding the appointment of Mark Cavallaro, 331 Platt Avenue, West Haven, to the Zoning Board of Appeals Panel of Alternates. Mr. Cavallaro's appointment will be filling a vacancy and his term will become effective immediately and expire on January 31st, 2031. I would like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. The Committee on Personnel and Civil Service is now closed at 8:41.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Lands Committee, Chairman Donovan.
Thank you, Chairman. Time is now 8:41. Committee on Public Lands is now in session. Members present, Councilwoman Heffernan, Councilman Quagliani, Councilman McMillan, Councilwoman Garthwaite, and myself, Councilman Donovan, acting as chair. Tonight we have before us Communication J from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action on approving the exclusive use of 10 parking spaces located at city-owned property at 9 Curtis Place, a.k.a. the Al Schuler parking lot, to the Al Schuler Building LLC or their successors. Mr. Al Schuler, would you like to come up and...
Motion.
Oh,
Motion.
sorry, need a motion.
Motion
Correct.
to approve.
Motion to approve, sorry. Second?
Second.
And discussion. Now, thank you.
Also, the proposed developers here for any questions. But I submitted those 2 documents to the city council. I don't know if you have anything else that you want me to go over.
You had something you wanted to hand out?
Yeah, this is, it's called a rendering that the mayor, so the respective developer calls herself V, make it easier, so.
Thank you. So the sale is, hasn't been done
No,
yet, obviously.
no,
right?
actually,
You're
no.
waiting to get this done. Mike, if you have a second, I have a question. I know one of the councilmen were asking. The 10 spots,
Yes.
it's actually going to be handed over to Mr. Alschuler, the LLC, at this point, correct?
Well, right now, this is a tentative agreement, right? So the agreement that Mr. Alschuler is looking to get into is to sell his building. This would be a contingency to getting into that contract. Would be that this council agrees that we would be able to commit 10 spots to that public municipal.
To any contract with any developer.
Yes.
Right.
I don't want parking spots.
No, I'm sure. You know, down the road, and it originally it was one of my concerns, but I think we'll be okay for quite a while. Now, I'm assuming once the sale goes, you're planning on getting this. I don't know if you'd like you to come up, please. You're planning on starting this project right away, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 10 spots.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Ma'am, could we just have your name and your address for the record, please?
Sure. My name is Vincent.
Mike.
Hi. How are you? My name is Vicentia Duce. You can call me V.
V?
Yes. My company is Vase Construction.
Good.
I want to point out Shori has a project in West Haven on Elm Street that she's working on, so she has vast experience in commercial and retail, but she has one in West Haven currently.
Okay. Again, the only concern I think that some of the people on the council have with this 10 spots is if the project doesn't get off the ground, obviously we get that those 10 spots would come back, correct?
Well, I mean, we're asking for the building to be able to be developed, we need the 10 spots. So we're asking for that irrespective of which developer or, you know, we've started with Vase Construction. I mean, there are people waiting in the wings. We've indicated that we're working with her and until we have an agreement, but she couldn't even begin to enter into negotiation until, as other developers apparently, there were parking spots to the building, and none of them are 10.
I believe what would trigger the commitment is to have so the process has to go first to get into a contract. Then there's probably a permits and approvals period. She would have to go through planning and zoning to get approval for whatever the change of use is that they're looking for. If it's not this developer, it's whatever developer ultimately would do this, but it's the planning and zoning agreeing to change the use, which would then trigger the commitment for whoever would buy the building. That's kind of the triggering event is to have that zoning change the use of it.
Okay. Any questions from the committee? I know I took your question, Ron, but go ahead. No, go ahead.
So, Mike, I guess my question is I understand that this is public land, this is city property, but wouldn't normally P&Z address conditions in their application? Or, you know, because you said they have to go in front of P&Z with a drawing or whatnot. So what happens if P&Z? So this is our responsibility to identify the parking spaces, even though the overall site plan, they may say, well, I want a charging station, or I want this, or I mean, I've seen that come back in a P&Z. So I just don't want to conflict with the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Oh, so this is contingent upon planning and zoning, right? So this is contingent upon planning and zoning approving an application for a change of use for that particular property. So we wouldn't be conflicting with it. We're just giving them an advanced permission that should this go forward, should they be fortunate enough to get approval by planning and zoning, we agree that they would have a dedicated 10 spots in order to develop that change of use.
Yeah, I support the 10 spots. I just want to make sure that the development happens before we obligate ourselves, right? So
Yes.
Could it be contingent upon their certificate of occupancy? Then the spots take effect.
Yeah,
I mean
would
that would
have to be approved. Yeah,
right.
The change of use would have to be approved first. Okay. It would be based on a need.
By the way, we had a meeting with, 2 meetings with Kathy and Councilman Donovan and Councilman Wargo. We had a meeting with the mayor and Mike, and so planning and zoning's been involved with it. And but I'm requesting that it be given to the building if you honor that request, in spite of whether there's a development locked down by contract because it's kind of putting the cart before the horse. No developer is going to sign with us unless we have the parking spaces because, as I indicated, we used to have parking for like 6 or 8 spots, and the city, by eminent domain, took our parking away, which we weren't against necessarily, but when they took our back buildings. But then, as you know, the area is cordoned off now where no one can park behind our building, where we used to have parking behind there. I'm not asking for parking back there because I think the city has a great idea of developing that area to make a wonderful place to use that's been underutilized. But I'd be asking for the 10 spots irrespective because without that, we can't sign a contract with V or anybody else for that matter.
Mike, as long as you're comfortable that again, I don't want to give the spots and nothing happens, and then we have reserved spots for no one, right? And it reduces the capacity of that lot. I know that there's not a lot of going on there now, but we hope that with the grants that the mayor has got, that we'll get some more life downtown. But so who's paying for the parking signs?
I guess we'd be willing to pay for the parking signs.
Just the 10 signs that would just restrict each side. Yes, I guess they would.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think I'd just like them to go through the PD, the traffic authority, just to make sure that the signs are consistent with the rest of the city.
Yeah.
All right. I think then if those things are in place, I'm good. Thank you, Chair.
All right. Anybody else from the committee? I'll open it up to the council. Councilman Fargo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2 questions. First, Attorney Jello, is it reasonable to say that planning and zoning will probably either require or at least look favorably on the fact that these spaces are reserved for the building in issuing its permits and going through that application process?
I believe it would be favorable to their application.
Okay. The second, unfortunately, is a negative. Attorney Altshuler, with respect, I was in favor of this after our meeting when we discussed this particular development. The problem I have is part of the consideration of, in my mind, in me agreeing that the city is going to release 10 spaces, is the fact that the building is going to be rehabilitated in accordance with the plan that the city has in mind and what our community development plan is. If for whatever reason, ma'am, that this particular project doesn't go forward, you don't close, something happens, I'm not in favor of just giving up 10 spots and then not receiving the consideration for the city. So what can we do to ensure that the building is going to be rehabilitated per everybody's agreed upon vision before we do this? To whomever can answer that question.
Well, it would be my understanding. Again, my understanding is the triggering event is they get approval from planning and zoning. They then go forward with the redevelopment of the property. And then once the certificate of occupancy is issued, that's when the need occurs, right? There's really not a need to have these dedicated spots up to that point.
And that sounds perfect, except Mr. Altshuler just said that he wants them regardless, and that is where I'm.
Well, my understanding, I don't want to talk for Mr. Altshuler. He's a smart guy, but my understanding is what I believe what you're trying to say is, he wants to go forward with V as the developer. But if for some reason it goes through and another developer wants to do the same or similar project, he would like the ability to pursue it with the same project with a different developer. Is that
to show that developer that we do have those spots if the developer wants to sign a contract? There must be a way we can work that out.
Conceptually, I am not against that. I just want to make sure that nothing we do tonight actually conveys the right to those spaces until a developer needs them and agrees to the aesthetics that the city has in mind and the consideration that we are giving, that we're receiving for this. And I know I'm looking at worst case, and I'm hoping that V is able to execute on her vision, but I need to look at worst case, and I don't want to be stuck where we've given up something and didn't get anything for it, and didn't get the benefit of our bargain.
If I may ask or mention, if we can have the city council agree that if we have a developer, they'll give us the spots. I can understand why you don't want to give the spots before there's a developer. But can I show the developer to the city council will approve the spots if there's a contract signed for a developer, subject to the planning and zoning and all the approvals? I mean, I think that's not asking.
I'm sorry. And if I can chime in, I think that is exactly what we are looking for. We are looking to put housing units above a busy residential ground level. Whenever we develop, and Vase has probably developed over 1,000 units for housing and private development, and we own ourselves over, I think maybe as of West Haven, almost 97 units. With that being said, we put ourselves in the prospective residents' shoes or tenants. Whether it's Vase that ends up taking over this particular development or another developer, and we've done a lot of work, and we're not asking Rich for any compensation back. But whoever it is that end up taking that space, if they do want to put housing, and housing is the appropriate use of the upstairs level, it will be absolutely necessary to have the parking. So what I can recommend, and if everyone can think about that, is potentially put the commitment in place for 5 years, up to 5 years, until a development, whether it's us or someone else, can be in place, because we cannot come back here with any plans, any budget, any pro forma without that guarantee, because that will be also not reasonable for a developer to do that.
And I completely understand what you're saying, and I agree, and I understand with your logic. My concern is, and this is not a reflection on you in any way, but if for some reason you don't end up purchasing the building, or your project doesn't go to fruition, the city council is now agreed that the city is going to release 10 spaces of its property to the Altschuler Building LLC. And it could conceivably then try to have a contract with another developer that isn't planning on rehabilitating the aesthetics in accordance with the municipal development plan, which is the consideration for us agreeing to this. We want that building rehabilitated in accordance with the design and specifications and vision that has been put before us, that what the mayor is looking to do. So in order for you to get what you want, we are asking for that in return, and you have agreed. If for whatever reason your project does not go forward, your successor may not agree, and therefore they have the benefit of our spaces, but we don't have the benefit of our agreement. So I'm trying to figure out how we protect.
If I may just jump in there, if we have an agreement with any, as long as we have a contract with any developer, and obviously, maybe not obviously, but they're not going to take it just for the commercial units there. They're going to want to develop the second and third floor, and they're beautiful spots actually. And so if we can have an agreement from the city council, if we enter into a contract with a developer who agrees to rehab the building, subject to the development plan or in accordance with it, I mean, that would be satisfactory. I just don't want to have to keep coming back with, we have another developer, they're going to ask for the contingency first, that we can show them parking spots.
So, council, how can we memorialize that into either our resolution or your contract? How can we make sure that that is papered and enforceable?
I think we'd have to make it conditioned upon an approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission. Like, it has to become a real project. You know, right now we're talking about it in theory. There's no contract. There's no, so we don't. And I understand fully that we wouldn't want to dedicate 10 spaces for the exclusive use of right now what is empty space, storage space essentially.
Nor would I need them or want them.
Yeah. So this only becomes a reality, I would say, based on the condition that it gets approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and a certificate of occupancy would be issued for that use.
But that gets us over the hurdle of it being converted into residential units.
Well, that's when it becomes.
But that doesn't.
use.
But that doesn't address my concern. My concern is that part of the consideration is that the developer is going to make the building look the way that the mayor and the municipal development plan envision. I want to. How can we ensure?
May I? So I know we are talking about this as a developer and then prospective other developers. We have in-house architects, and we've already spent some time analyzing how this property will look, which is what you see over here. We have no issue going to the extent and doing our full-blown investigation. We will do that. There's no doubt about that. So that is the reason why we are asking for this. So the intention is for Vase to develop it. There is no doubt about that. But in order for us to stand here and commit to yes, and do the preliminary work, including the schematics, design, development, construction drawings, to where we get to zoning. We need that commitment, because if we do all of that, and then somehow, I'll also play devil's advocate with you. You come back and you say no, we're going to have a problem with that too. So it's one of those catch-23. So what would be a good medium point that makes you comfortable and to give us the comfort level to do our preliminary investigation?
What would make me comfortable is actually, you've already done everything that makes me comfortable. My concern is, for whatever reason this deal does not come to fruition, you either back out or it gets sold to another developer with our spots that doesn't share the same aesthetic vision that you have, and your successor or your replacement then has our spots, the spots that we allocate, but are not as committed as you are to making sure that the building fits the aesthetics that the city has in mind. My concern's actually not with you. It's with what happens if, for whatever reason, you're not here and it goes to somebody else. So what I would like is some kind of a guarantee or a fallback that says that that our approval is contingent upon basically what she's doing, but if it's not her, it's somebody else.
I believe Attorney Dorsey has a point.
Yeah, absolutely. So the existing resolution, as written, does have a few contingencies. In paragraph 6 and 5, talks about the city's right to relocate or designate different parking spaces in the event of future development or of other abutting commercial or mixed-use properties. Paragraph 6 below, Alchiller Building LLC and its assigns and accessors and interests shall have exclusive use of the 10 parking spots within the parking lot, providing the use of the improvements upon 509 Camel Avenue remain mixed use with a residential component.
Can I weigh in?
Sure.
Thank you. Since we met on this, so it's a gorgeous historic building, and I'm glad it's going to be put to use, because the second and the third floor have been empty for many years, and for all those years. So I looked at the proposal for interior. These are going to be market rate residential units, which were beautiful, but I had the concern outside. Right. So when we first met, I said, can you come back with a renovation of the outside, because we're spending, we just had a resolution that we want to invest downtown and we want to make sure it blends. And then you came back with a beautiful rendition. We did not in that meeting indicate that if it was a different developer that we would commit those spots. So I do have the same concern about the aesthetics, because that was my condition upon those 10 spots. So I think we have two choices here. One is we approve this project and the 10 spots. You go through your planning and zoning. It demonstrates to you, who is looking to purchase the building, that there's a commitment for the 10 spots. If it doesn't go through, it starts to demonstrate to a new developer that there's a commitment by the city council to do this for the right look. So I don't think we could do like 10 spots for anybody. I don't think we should do it for a number of years. I think, I'm not voting tonight, but I'm just saying, I think we were willing to do it to demonstrate our commitment to upgrade this corner. It's also going to, and I know the public probably can't see, it's going to upgrade 4 burritos, the parking, the windows. It's going to bring that value back to that. I would recommend we do it for this project, and if that project doesn't come through, shows a new developer that we're willing to do the 10 spots, but they got to come back to the table with a new look.
So
I don't think it does.
it's close, but not. It's close, but not there, Rick. So, Attorney Alchiller, Bugsy. So I think. Well, let me ask you this: do you have a plan currently before planning and zoning, or are you waiting for the this approval first?
Like I say, she won't, and I don't think any developer's going to enter into a contract unless they know they're subject to a contract.
Yeah.
Approved by planning and zoning, ordinance, and conformity.
I'm sorry, can't you just add it to your resolution tonight? Can we just add it if we all agree to it and then
Yeah.
just go in the back room and write it up and then come
Well, we
back
have
out
to,
and
we
everybody
have
votes
to
on
have
it?
a plan to refer to.
Well, no, we're committing to the spots. Not, well, we do. She has the plan that she passed out, which shows the aesthetics, which is all really.
Yes, give me,
Mr. Chairman, this is your committee, but if I may just
absolutely.
offer, I think the hang up here is if we could add, what's the name of your company, ma'am? If we could add the name of the company to the resolution that we are approving this, we are signing or we're licensing or whatever word we're using, committing these spots to Altshuler Building in anticipation of, the project with V's company. If we could add that in, and then that way, if P&Z doesn't approve the project, the zoning doesn't change, or if you don't close with her company, then it becomes void. If we can somehow accomplish that, I would feel better. Well, I'm certainly not going to speak for the entire city council, but I think as the mayor indicated, if we're willing to approve this for this project with her, I don't see a reason why we wouldn't, as long as we receive the consideration that we originally contemplated, and that's an aesthetically pleasing building that fits within that plan. So if for whatever reason, and ma'am, this has nothing to do with you, but unfortunately West Haven has a very sorrow history of developers not doing what what we expected, and then we get kind of stuck. So I'm just playing devil's advocate and trying to plan for the worst stage contingency. So what happens, so I think that you could go and say, we were willing to do it before. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't be willing to do it again, as long as all the conditions are met that are being met tonight. Does anybody on the count? I don't mean to hijack your committee,
Not
Mr.
at all,
Chairman,
not at
but-
all.
We could amend the resolution quickly, or you can table it. It's up to you.
I'd rather.
Let's move it along. We got.
Yeah,
I'll go to the office into my office right now and amend it, but I just want to make sure that it.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion, Mr. Chairman. Is
table it for a moment.
For this moment, we'll move on and then we'll bring you back.
Councilwoman Garthwaite has something to say.
Yeah, I just have a quick question for one of the attorneys. Let's say down the road the building sells. Do the parking spaces still stay with the building?
Yeah, so it would, because yes, it would have to, because don't forget, one of the reasons why they have to get these dedicated parking spaces is to pass zoning. They're not going to get them with zoning approval without them. I'm not sure of the number they need. I haven't been involved in that phase of the conversations, but I know that for a fact. So, yeah, so if it doesn't necessarily go to their signs or successors in interest, they would immediately be in violation of zoning if the city took back their parking spaces. So yes, once that spaces in that parking lot are dedicated to residential use, as long as it stays residential use, I think then they would. Now, I wrote the resolution, so when I wrote paragraph 5 and 6, I believe. I specifically mentioned residential use, and if it ever converts back to commercial or retail use, those parking spaces go away.
Oh, they go away.
Paragraph 6 specifically addresses that.
Okay, so it stays permanent.
Yeah, but it does,
as long as it's residential.
Right, but it does not. But it does not limit itself to the current project from the Vase LLC that was discussed with members of the city. It doesn't. This resolution doesn't limit it to that project. It limits it to a very similar type of project, a project that has residential use above commercial use on the first floor. And I I feel strongly about the fact that they're not going to get zoning approval if they don't have these parking spots for residential.
you can get that?
Yeah. I would think that what we should do is that we should mention Vase LLC, the the current plans presented to the city, or currently contemplated by Vase LLC in the city of West Haven, which project includes residential use of the second and third floor of 509. I think you would, Rick. I really do. I really think you would. I'm sorry, but I think you would.
Have we addressed
I'm
the?
good with that.
I'm sorry.
Nope. What's that?
So we can Councilman, we can handwrite it into the resolution that's passed tonight, and then put it into written form, so we don't hold up the meeting.
All right, we're gonna.
Yeah. Yeah. So when the resolution's read, we specifically refer to.
Write it in wherever you feel necessary, right? And then let me know.
Yeah.
So, Councilwoman
Yeah.
Tucker.
So the maintenance of those parking spaces is whose responsibility at this point? Would that be the responsibility of Vase LLC?
It's in the resolution.
It's in the resolution.
Okay. Well, I can't
It's not
see
it's not
it.
gonna,
I don't have
the
it.
resolution, it's just permission.
I don't see it. That's why I'm asking.
Sure.
So, but that's the maintenance of the pavement, the signage, all those things, and then.
As well as insurance.
Okay.
The
So
city
it's
would have to be a
snow-
lost payee under
Okay.
their policy for, you know.
Thank you.
Councilman Donovan. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead. I'm there.
I just want to clarify, because Councilwoman Melly had a question about whether, if, let's say, the sale goes through and then another developer comes, would those spots go to the next developer? I don't think that is accurate, because this agreement specifically says that developer. So I think if it was to sell in the future, whoever that developer was, 5 years from now, whatever, they would have to come and renegotiate the parking spots, because whatever happens in zoning is separate than the agreement that the city has with the owner of a building to allow them to have spots. And
So, okay, so you're saying if another owner comes in
2 years from now,
2 years
somebody
from now,
buys the building.
and doesn't change it, just has six
Doesn't
units.
matter the use. The agreement is between this developer and the city for those spots. If a new developer comes, there has to be a new agreement between that developer and the city for those spots, no matter what the project is.
I'm not going to give an answer.
I'm not going
one
to
way or
argue
the
with
other.
our legal attorney.
But no, I mean, I'm not. My whole point of my answer.
No,
is that I don't know.
I hate to disagree, because you're usually right. But anyway, that's for the future.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Again, I apologize, but that's not how I read this resolution. So I want to make sure if that's the intention, that's not what I see in this resolution. This resolution authorizes the city to allow exclusive use to Altschuler
We're gonna
LLC
change it now.
and its successors and assigns, so that would trickle down to 3 owners from now. So I
Right,
want to make
right.
sure that if
So two things with respect to the way it's worded with assigns and successors and assigns. Most likely, the developer who buys the property, develops it, leases it, is going to do it in an LLC. They're going to own the property in another LLC's name. So we put assigns and successors to take care of that problem. We don't know the name of the LLC yet. It's because it hasn't been formed. Okay. So that's number one. The second thing is it's in there for continuity. This does, and you're absolutely 100% correct, contemplate another user, a subsequent user. not changing the use, not putting 19 units in and saying, or going back to office space and saying, ha ha, we still got those 10 spaces. It talks about maintaining the residential use of the second and third floor.
Right, and the way
It does do
that
that.
I understood Councilwoman Garthwaite's question, and I may be wrong, so please correct me. The way I understood her question was, let's assume the stars align. We do this tonight. Altschuler LLC then sells it to your company. You develop it, you rent it, and then you sell it. I believe Councilwoman Garthwaite was asking, do these parking spaces go to your purchaser? The answer to that question in my mind is yes.
Yeah, per paragraph 6.
Yes.
But paragraph 6 also says, and this is, I think, is important consideration, without advocating, but it's an important consideration. However, if the use of the property located at 509 Campbell Avenue is changed back to commercial use only, any agreement contemplated herein shall terminate, and the owner will no longer have exclusive use of the parking space.
Right, and I understand, I agree that, but I want to just make it clear, because I believe that's what Councilwoman Garthwaite was asking, is that if V does everything that she proposes to do, rents it, and then sells it to Acme Corp, they would have use of these spots. It would not, this resolution would not automatically terminate. It would flow to them as long
as written.
Right, as long as nothing changed. That's the way this reads. No, I understand. I just wanted to make sure that the answer to Councilwoman Garthwaite's question was accurate.
But we can't.
I
We
just
can't. Oh, I'm
want
sorry.
it. That is not the city's position. Is that we don't want it. We need control, right, of what happens with the future of this building. So I rather not say or successor. I rather whoever comes, we need to, no matter the use, right? If somebody comes and they're going to buy this building, we want to see what they're doing with this building before we give the 10 spots. So my suggestion would be when you change it to specifically mention this company, that it just says this company. That's it. And then if this company doesn't come through, we hope you do. It's a great plan. Inside is gorgeous. If it doesn't, then we come back to the drawing. We will meet again.
We'll meet
This was-
again.
Right. And if it does go through and it sells in 2 years, we have the opportunity to renegotiate. So we don't want successor. Personally.
Yeah.
I like what Mayor Boer said. I don't want to relinquish control of the spots to someone else unless we meet with them. The mayor knows exactly what's happening there. That's just personally how I feel.
But I'm a little confused because I want to make sure we get this right. So if another subsequent owner comes in, we're mixing the two terms up, owner and developer, okay? If I buy a tenant house or apartment building and I make no renovations, I just do normal upkeep, keep the tenants there. When somebody leaves, I get a new tenant in. I'm not a developer. I don't need to go to planning and zoning. I don't need to get a new CO, all right? I'm simply a new owner, a new landlord. That's different from a developer. If a developer comes in and says, yeah, I want to put 12 units here instead of 6, let's say, and that's a different story. Or I want to go back to commercial use. I want to knock down walls. I need permits. I need zoning approval. That's a developer. That's different.
If I may add also, Vase is a contractor and a developer. So in all of the units that we do, even the one on West Haven, we are the developer and we are also the contractor. We do hold a major contractor licenses and we do this type of project. Just wanted to clarify.
Because everybody won't keep their building as nice as you do, and how nice the potential opportunity is. We as Councilman Vargo said, we've been stuck before. And, when we met, the whole idea of, yeah, we could work on the spaces as long, that was a condition, as long as you upgrade it and you keep it wonderful. And that's a major concern for us. So I think we just need some safeguards in place for the future. Maybe we won't be here, but maybe someone will. And
So we'll change it to the resolution then to name the LLC specifically, the existing LLC, and the plan contemplated. That's the plan to convert to residential. How many units? Up to six units. Up to 5.
4 to 5.
All right. So for the plan that presented to the city.
We need a survey to verify.
Yeah, of 4 to 5 units. So we'll make it specific to those two, that her LLC and the use for second and third floor to 4 to 5 units. All right.
Oh, everybody good with that? So far that spoke? Yeah. Councilwoman Heffernan, did you have?
Yeah.
Yep.
So out of the whole parking lot, what percentage is 10 slots?
I believe there's 66.
So it's,
I believe there's 66.
so 12%. 12%? Is that?
That sounds, yeah, I mean, I'm not.
It's rarely to say it's ever a quarter full is what we're doing.
66?
I think it is 66. It is an underutilized municipal lot.
So, I mean, can anyone can park there anyway, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I know you
Public
might.
lot.
Okay, yes. Can people park overnight
Yeah.
in a public lot? I don't know. I'm asking. Is that legal? Chief, is that legal?
It depends on what our parking authority says, and I don't know if they've made
no,
regulations. I don't know. There's certainly
Okay.
not a specific ordinance on it.
Okay.
The 10 spots will be designated.
Designated for you, just for you. I understand. I was just going to say, I wondered how many, if that was like half the lot or a third of the lot. It seems it's a smaller proportion than what I had in my mind. Thank you.
Councilman Quagliani.
Does the resolution say market rate? Could we add that into the resolution?
With reference to what?
With what type of housing is going to be available?
Yeah, 4 to 5 market rate residential apartments.
That would be my preference. I'm only one person here, but I'd like to see that as part of the
I agree.
resolution.
I also agree with him.
I have no problem with that. I'm always for market rate, although some of our units are 80% AMI and 100% AMI. I don't know if I will want to, at this point, designate that particular building as 100% market rate. And I'll tell you the reason why. We have not run the numbers just yet. In order to determine if there may or may not be a gap, I am not sure. So we have to factor the acquisition, we have to factor the rehab, we have to factor the operating expenses, and we have to see if this property will make sense. If it makes sense, then yes, market rate. If it doesn't make sense and there's a gap, we may have to go for historic tax credits. I do not know the magic answer because we have not run the numbers. So I would say yes, majority market rate, but we have to make room for if there isn't. And again, my preference is always market rate, but we have to also be realistic. I have not run the numbers yet. I do not know.
Again, as a city attorney, it's not my intention to stand up before the city council and advocate for a policy one way or the other. It's just to give legal advice and explanations. That said, maybe we're putting the cart before the horse. I know they're going to need parking spaces for zoning. How many they're going to need, I can't give you that answer. I just don't know. As I stand here before you. And if we're going to get into things like that specific about market rates, or how many are going to be market rates, what percentages, how many units they're going to be, maybe we need a slightly more detailed plan.
Mr. Chairman, can I follow
Yeah.
so
Go right ahead.
So we spent an hour talking about 10 parking spaces, and I think to Attorney Dorsey's question or comment is, what happens if we vote to approve the 10 parking spaces and they go to planning and zoning and say you need 12 parking spaces? Then they have to come back and we have to start all over again. So they may be putting the cart before the horse, and Why don't we see what planning and zoning says, how many spaces they need?
The units will not need more than 10. I can guarantee you that. We are looking at 45 units, and we have 10.
I'll take back my motion if you want to recess the committee, Mr.
I want to
Chairman.
hear what the other councils.
I'd just like to offer a compromise. Is there a way, council, is there something that the city council can do that would show planning and zoning that we do have the appetite to do this as long as certain conditions are met? I think the problem that we have right now is that this was presented to us with a certain set of expectations and conditions, and unfortunately some things have unraveled at tonight's meeting that we're not 100% okay with. And some more details need to be firmed up. But I also understand that if we don't do what we're being asked to do, then you're kind of held up on being able to go to planning and zoning. Is there a compromise that somehow you, ma'am, can go to planning and zoning and say that I have a plan, this is what I propose to do, city council has indicated that it is conceptually willing to do this as long as these conditions are met, without us actually voting to do that thing tonight?
Something short of a resolution?
Yes.
Yes. You can send a communication to planning and zoning.
Okay.
Suggesting your willingness. It would then have to come back to city council.
Because
right?
what I would like to do,
for the
honestly,
resolution, because you definitely need the resolution.
and I understand, what I would like to do is I would like to do whatever it is that we can to show that we are at least entertaining this and willing to do it, as long as the city and the developer and the owner agree. That way, hopefully, it satisfies P&Z and they can move forward without actually committing ourselves to anything, because new conditions have been brought up tonight and new expectations have been brought up tonight. And I think that the mayor needs an opportunity to take a minute and analyze that and then have some conversations with you all. And I'm certainly not in favor of acting tonight while that's still kind of pending.
I think that's probably a prudent way to proceed, because then they'll have a more of a plan before planning and zoning, and they're going to be able to go to planning and zoning with a good faith letter from the city council saying that parking's not going to be a problem unless they're required to have 12 or 14 or more, and then it's your decision again. But if you say that, yeah, they were requesting 10 and we are inclined to allow that, we're not gonna stand in the way of that kind of letter, because we like the plan, and if it meets all the other planning regulations and zoning regulations, then it's a thumbs up. A letter of intent or a letter of confidence in the plan from the city council would achieve that, I would believe, and allow them to go forward. Again, though, I don't want to advocate a position. I'm merely suggesting a possible solution.
Well, before we say, so we've done this in the past where we have sent communications to P&Z
Correct.
for approval, and then it came back to us, and then we finalized the approval after that.
There is a statute that doesn't necessarily apply to this situation, but very similarly, so I can explain it to you by analogy. Yes, there's a statute that says some things have to come here first, get sent to P&Z, so P&Z says, yes, it fits within, first of all, planning, and second of all, within zoning regulations, and then it comes back here. Very similar thing will happen. There's a reason why there's a statute there. It makes sense. It's for reasons like this. It's for situations like this. I don't think this particular ask and use falls within that statute, but I think it's a prudent way to proceed.
So at this point, withdraw the motion, and then proceed. Just table this until we get a response from P&Z.
I don't think you should. You could table the resolution, not vote on it tonight, but send that communication to P&Z. I think we need a more complete. What I'm hearing is that you would like a more complete plan before you, and something that's going to pass P&Z and planning, and then pass a resolution accordingly that upholds that plan. I'm having trouble right now going back to my office and referring to a plan that doesn't exist. I don't know how many units. You're going to want restrictions of market rate. The plan might not work for the developer. They have to do the cost analysis.
I didn't ask. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
quite
I didn't
all right.
ask that the market rate would not work. I am saying that I have not run the budget. I have not run the total development budget. I think I agree with what the councilmen and women said. You should update the plan, designate waste management as the developer / the owner, and give us some time to develop this. And if we do not develop with a certain amount of time, then the next developer, if you choose this, can come back to the city council and go for a new approval. But however, we cannot do a whole plan for planning and zoning without knowing what yes, we cannot. So I think it is a catch-22, but I think the simplest way, which is going to leave everybody, let's say, a win-win situation, is that we don't get the parking if we don't develop it. The new developer has to come back and fulfill exactly what we did, because we looked at your 2025 plan. Every color that you see here, every design is done and thought of by your 2025 plan. So if we don't develop it, then you can find a developer and then you can start. Okay, thank you. So that being said, this is my recommendation.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Thank you so much. So just want to reiterate that again. We want to support you. We know that you've been there for how many years have you been there? Since 1942. It was the old courthouse. It was the old building. There's a lot of stories. Another day. But we want to support you because we know you're ready to sell. Having said that, there's complications that came up tonight that weren't previously discussed about other developers, and we were going to potentially tweak that language. When we did meet, however, we did talk about market rate, right? This is the first time I'm hearing that it might not be market rate because of the historic credits. So that was also, whenever I meet with developers or owners, we always talk about what is it going to look like, and what's the building going to look like? Is it going to be 3 bedrooms? Is it going to be studio apartments? Is it going to be commuters? So that was a conversation we had. So I think that, I think we're demonstrating to you, attorney, that we are willing to entertain these spots for the right proposal. It just doesn't sound like we're confirmed as to what that proposal is, unfortunately, tonight, because I think it's tweaked slightly since we've met. And I want to make sure, for me, it's important what is going downtown, since I'm asking for $2.9 million to renovate downtown. So I would, since it's my proposal that I put on the agenda, then I'm going to request that we withdraw it this evening. And we'll continue to work together. And we'll just put it to an end tonight. We'll continue to work on it in the back end to find out the right solution that helps you all get where you are. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? And then we'll work with, unfortunately, another developer.
And just one more comment, if you don't mind, before I go. So the initial intention was the market rate.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I brought up if there is because one, we have to develop the parking lot, that section, to suit the building. So with the rehab, I have no doubt that the building and the commercial level can sustain itself. I do not know what the budget will look like when we go in to develop the parking lot, because the parking lot has to resemble and has to be definitive that it is for that building. I am not sure how we're going to develop that, or how what we're going to put into it, or what the cost is going to be. So that is the only reason why I had mentioned that. If we were to go strictly for, let's say, historic tax credit, with that, there is not an affordability element to it. It is just the structure of the building being sustained the way it is. And full disclosure, I do have to say, I forgot that we are talking about historic building. I am one of the State Historic Preservation Council. I am one of the council members for SHPO. So I do understand the historics very well, because I sit on the State SHPO Council. The parking lot is the one thing that, as much as we want it, we also have to make sure that we develop it the right way. And for that cost, I do not know. So one or two things would happen. We may have to get historic tax credits. I don't know yet. We may not. I mean, the market rate and the commercial level could potentially sustain the building. What I'm saying is that I have not run those numbers, so therefore I do not know. So I did not want to stand here and say that everything's going to be great when we run the budget, because that will also be deceiving. But from the look of things, from the look of, and I have seen West Haven market rate, because the units that Vase is doing right now on 96 Elm Street is all market rate. And it sustains and it works. That's great because we run the numbers. So I have no doubt that this will also work. But again, I'm a realistic. I have to run all the numbers before I can guarantee that. I just wanted to mention.
I appreciate that. And the renovation that you are already doing in West Haven is market rate, and it is transforming that building. And I appreciate your investment in West Haven. Just want to make sure it's all the right project and we have that commitment before we move forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this
Thank
time,
you
I
very
need,
much.
who was the second? I totally forgot. Okay, do you mind taking it back?
I'll remove my motion.
Motion?
I'll remove my motion as well.
And communication J is being withdrawn, correct? Okay. All right, next we have communication N. Did Mike? Okay, Mike's still here. Good. Glad you didn't leave us yet, Mike. Communication N from Mayor Dorinda Boer requesting consideration and action regarding transferring a portion of city-owned property at 281 Front Avenue rear to the abutting owner of 295 Front Avenue, Mr. Leo Skilla. I'd like a motion to bring this out favorably.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I'm sorry? Oh, you don't want to discuss anything yet?
No, the motion should be asking the committee to vote to schedule a public hearing.
Well, okay, 'cause I was gonna do that after we discuss, but you wanna do that now? All right, I'd like to make a motion to, to hold a public hearing for this? I get a motion?
Second.
McMillan, is the motion to... for the-
Heffernan, second.
Heffernan on the second?
Yep.
Thank you. Now we can do discussion.
All right, so now I'm gonna bring it out for discussion, correct? Okay, good. Wow, now that we got that handled. New system, we got, it's going crazy. All right, so, we have before us on the committee anyway, and this is gonna be open to the council as well as a whole. Might as well get it all out, questions and everything. We have a person that's owned the property since the sixties. I believe, right, sixties, I think it was.
Oh, certainly. The building was built, I think, around 1915.
Well, yeah, the building's been.
Yeah. He was on the building for a while.
And in I think in the 70s, the city put up a fence. At that point, where the fence was, the owners of the property extended their garage and put like a gravel area for their cars and vehicles that they were working on and whatnot. So now they're looking to sell the property, and I had planning, Kathy Conniff, I talked to her. She's actually in favor of this because it squares off the property and makes it nice and even. I talked to Public Works. They were okay with it as long as we got 218 18 Helm Street, correct? It was 18 Helm Street?
There was 18 Helm Street, and then there was also the property that we own at 281 Front Avenue. Get that cleaned up from abandoned cars and things like that that were in the area.
So basically, this is where we're at. We're looking to transfer that portion. And you all have a map in front of you of what we're looking to do with that. But there was other things we wanted to put in there with, as long as we get the 218, and the PD has no. Chief, you want to come up? Just either one say, just to say you're okay with. So it's on the record that you're okay with transferring that property as long as the police department has 2 trailers on that property. And as long as we get it, we don't have to move anything. So that's, yeah, as long as we get that property, the trailers stay, everything stays where it's at.
It's very important that we use that range. It's for financial reasons as well as training reasons.
100%.
And if this has nothing to do with our access to that range area, then we are absolutely in favor of it.
Okay, yeah, the only reason why is if we didn't get that 18 Helm, that might have had an issue. But I believe we're getting that, like you said, we're going to be acquiring that shortly.
Yes.
18 Helm Street. And then this way here, nothing has to be moved over there. So I just wanted on the records, basically tonight we talked about you guys.
That's a big relief for my training department. So,
Good.
and my
I
firearm
appreciate you guys
instructors.
hanging out for that time,
Yeah.
just for that short thing, but, thank you.
That was all of that for 10 spaces. Yes,
You
it was cool.
Any questions from the committee? Councilwoman Melee, Garthwaite, sorry.
It's fine. So, Attorney Jello, they've been maintaining the property, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, what do you mean they've been maintaining?
Have they been caring for the property? How many years have they been caring for the property?
Well, they've been. Yeah. So, the building was
they
built in 1950.
basically they own it, really. Think about that, right? Right?
Not technically yet.
No.
But they do. I mean, they've been maintaining it for.
Well, if the property is
80
on
years,
city-owned
right?
property, you cannot have adverse possession on city-owned property.
Not on city property.
No.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You learned something.
So somebody
new every
can't
day.
claim the West Haven Green as theirs if they sit there for a long time or something. So. Oh. Unless you're Chairman Vargo.
All right. Well, thank you. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I had
An
no
exception
idea
to
that
that. That's
it was.
fine. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Logical question. Yeah, but yeah, you cannot claim adverse possession for municipal-owned property.
No municipal. Oh, well.
What we also wanted to do, just I didn't see it in the communication, but
Mayor.
we talked about it, was any cost
Yes.
that it would be incurred in the transfer of this property. So, for example, the owner, in order to take title, is going to have a survey done. He's going to have to pay for the survey. That's going to create the property description that we're going to need to transfer the title. All those costs are going to be borne by the other property owner. He's not going to cost the town anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was my next, perfect. Anybody else from the committee? How about from the council? Any questions? Wow. Oh, yes, Councilman Fargo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to make sure that we're clear. I know that these are not 100% specific, but it's approximately 40 feet by 35 feet.
Yeah, these were put in here by Kathy Conniff, the
Okay.
city planner. These are her dimensions.
Okay, and really all that's doing is that's squaring off
Yes.
295 front. So we're losing, the city's losing 40 feet by 35 feet.
Which is occupied by his building.
But
Yeah.
which is already occupied by his building.
Yeah.
And John, I'm sorry that I kept you here for so late, but it was important that I wanted to make sure, because Deputy Chief Romano, you and I had a conversation with Councilman Donovan about your operations on in that area. I just wanted to make sure that you saw what it is that we're being asked to do, and that based upon these renderings, you're okay with it, and it doesn't impact the police's interest at the moment. Okay. As long as it remains the same. Okay. Okay. Thank you both.
Any other questions from the council? All right. Seeing none with committee, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion, yeah,
Yeah, we'll schedule that for a public hearing.
for
6/8 at 6:59. What's that,
All right,
Council?
the time is 9:43, and your committee on public lands is now closed.
Okay, moving on to tax deferral. Chairman Ronan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The time is 9:43. The Committee on Tax Deferral is now in session. Members present are councilpersons Callahan, McMillan, Quagliani, Garthwaite, and myself, Ronan, acting as chair. We have tonight before us Council Communication I from tonight's agenda. A request from Mayor Dorinda Boer for consideration and action on approval of a resolution, I'm ready, of a resolution authorizing the City of West Haven to enter into a real property tax incentive agreement with Zupardi's Frozen Foods LLC for the redevelopment of 775 First Avenue. I would like to entertain a motion to bring this out favorably to the whole council.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Committee member Quagliani.
Well, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Listen, I'm sorry it's so late, but I just I wanted to speak on behalf of the request about the tax abatement for Zupardi's. Zupardi's is an iconic business in this community, and we're part of our identity because of Zupardi's and because of the Zupardi family. And I think it's a huge win to be able to get Zupardi's and their frozen food business to stay within the city of West Haven, take a large underperforming warehouse space and turn it into a significant operation that's going to be a multi-million-dollar project. So I'm very excited to support the project and support the application. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else from the committee? I'm going to open this. Go ahead, Dawn. Thank you.
Good evening. Maybe it's good morning. I'm not sure. Thank you for coming out. Did you bring us a pizza by chance? You've been sitting here so long. I'm just kidding. How long do you think, for a timeline to when you get over to that, to redo everything? I can't talk anymore. I'm sorry.
No, I understand what you're asking. We're in discussions with that. As far as the construction goes, we're working on that now. I have to get the engineer in there. We've met. But I was given about 8 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have to do a lot of editing in the building to bring it to what I need for food production.
Right. I think that's a quick turnaround. So.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. Well, best of luck. And
yeah.
Reiterate what Councilman Quagliani said. You know, you are our lifeline here for businesses and pizza. So thank you for staying within the zip code.
That was the goal.
I'm going to, go ahead. No, thank you.
I just want to say thank you too. I don't have anything else to say other than I'm really pleased that you're going to be doing this, staying with West Haven.
It belongs here.
Yeah,
I agree.
with
It belongs here.
I'm going to open it up to the whole council. If anyone, Chairman.
Thank you. I just want to echo the sentiments. Thank you for all your years in West Haven. You are an absolute icon here. And thank you for continuing to invest in West Haven. Your sausage pizza is to absolutely die for. And I just want to say that the wind completely robbed you of Dave Portnoy's pizza review. You should have gotten a much higher score.
I agree.
The wind got you.
I agree.
Thank you.
Gary, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Good. This is in my district, so I just exactly 775 First Avenue. Is that next to Napa?
Yes.
Right in the
Yeah.
back?
In the back, yeah.
The old recycling place.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he said
What?
755.
Sir?
775.
No, 755.
Oh, 755?
Yes.
That's what was confusing. This says 775.
I thought you said 755.
I did.
Mine's 7755.
755.
Okay, I'll correct it in the record, whatever.
755, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that makes
Yes.
sense. Because 775 was showing the corner, and it was like you're building a building there. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Online it says 775, but on here 775, but 755 First Avenue. 755.
Now I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, and again.
Thank you.
Sherry.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
I remember a couple years back we were talking about this, and I couldn't be more happy for you and your family. I think this is very well deserved, and you are a staple in our community. So
Thank you. It's been a long road. I had a lot of help from Fred.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He did a great job, and now it's time to hit the pavement and run. Yeah. I need the space.
I'm very excited for you.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Ann.
So about 20 years ago, before you were doing this, my brother was being deployed to Iraq, and I bought one of your pizzas. It was only $5, but to mail it overnight delivery to Alaska was $48.
Worth it.
20 years ago, he said it was worth it. I really questioned whether it was really my sister obligation to do it, but he said he put it on a grill, and it was just like coming out of your oven. So I thank you. I did it before you had the ability to do it, or you were willing to do it.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
But now everyone can do that. So
Yes.
thank you.
I just want to say one more thing. I hope that you put the big Zoo Party sign so everybody can see it right
Yes.
from the highway. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Fred's gonna help with that one too.
Mackie?
Would you have to go into your actual store to buy your frozen product, or would you go into?
No, so my facility would not be open to the public.
Okay.
Yes, I'm under USC inspection. It just makes it a little easier to deal with them, we'll say, to keep it within or not open to the public. But they are at the restaurant.
Okay.
They will be there.
And we are here tomorrow for a 7 p.m. meeting. So if you can
Okay.
have our pizza here by like 6:45.
Thank you for the plug, Mackie. Thank you for the plug. Mayor.
We're not allowed to accept it.
Yeah, I just want to kind of round it out and just. This has been a year in the works, right?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Only my involvement.
Oh,
has
yes,
only been,
yes.
But there was another site that you were looking at and you invested money into, and it fell through, not by your doing, no fault of yours. And there were cities around us that were heavily courting Sherry to go there. So we worked really hard. Freddie, I know you worked hard too. And from day one, you just kept saying, we want to stay in West Haven. We want to stay in West Haven. But you were getting incredible offers. So on behalf of the city, thank you for staying. And I just want to say how impressed I am with you, because we talk about these parties, right? And it's iconic. But you, as an offspring, developed your own business. You took the frozen pizza, right? And you just made it your own. You're a woman-owned business. During COVID, you exploded, right? You took it to a whole nother level because now nobody was leaving and you were still working, and you just started shipping pizzas all over the country. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have like just a couple of numbers you could rattle off to,
So the shipping end is the restaurant. I do markets, the bars, restaurants. I do a lot of fundraising in the community, as you know, with the high schools, the elementary schools. If I had to put a number, I think I put it on our Facebook one year that I'd had reached over 1 million sold. It's well beyond that now. So I am, as far as being in Big Y, and at the time, I did get an award from them. I was one of their top sellers, and I wasn't even in their entire chain yet. I am now, with the help of a distributor, but I'm still in their top, I believe, 5 in pizza that they sell throughout their chain. So, yeah, it's exciting, but
it's just really impressive, and I know your family is very proud of you. We are proud of you, as West Haven.
Yes.
And as far as the tax incentive, which we didn't talk about because we talked about how great the pizza is, it's important to invest in a business like this that is going to invest $4 million back into our city. So during the construction period, that is what will be, as she's constructing, that will be frozen until the following year. But we'll continue to pay taxes on the building and the land as is. So it's not as if there's a tax freeze and nothing will be paid. It's just, to allow the construction phase to move forward. And so we're here to support you, and we're really glad that you're staying here. And yes, we did talk about a big billboard that would be there. So
yes, I would love to have that. So
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
it's great. So I'm strongly in favor. I put it on the agenda, and it sounds like you got some pretty good support here on the council. So I'll let them do their thing.
Thank you, Mayor.
So,
Terry.
the billboard, you're gonna have like the old McDonald's, 1 billion sold, 2 billion sold, 3 billion sold. You know, rotate that.
Home of the West Haven Blue Devils
There you
and
go.
Party's
Perfect.
Pizza. I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
I mean, we gotta let everyone know where they're entering. Be careful.
That's right. Okay, so for the record, it's 7:55.
Yes,
First Avenue.
7:55. Yes.
Thank you so much.
And before you go, I just want to say thank you all for your support. It means a lot.
Absolutely. So I want to go on the record as, everyone's, has their 1, 2, and 3, and Zupardi's is always in the 1, 2, or 3, right?
Mhm.
You're number 1 here, right?
Thank
so we love Zupardi's Pizza. We love to support our locals, and it's just awesome. Thank you for investing in our community.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
it doesn't belong anywhere else.
Thank you so
It
much.
doesn't.
Appreciate it. Okay, so for the committee, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. The time is now 9:54, and your committee on tax deferral is closed.
Thank you. Time's 9:54, and council whole is reconvening. Moving on to unfinished business, we have charter revision. Councilman Quagliani, can you give us an update, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll dispense with the 3 pages, and I'll just go down to 1 paragraph. Charter Revision Commission held their public hearing on May 21st at 6 p.m. 3 residents gave public comment to the CRC regarding the City of West Haven Allentown Fire Commission and Fire Commission alternate language, qualifications for appointed officials, and continued openness and transparency with communications to and from the public. The CRC submitted its draft report to the City Council, City Clerk, and the communications team with the city so the public can review the changes in time for the City Council's public hearing. The current draft is on the city's website, and the CRC is anticipated to vote on submitting its final report to the City Council this week on May 28th. That's my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none. Moving on to committee reports. Given the hour, I'm going to ask that we do this as quickly as possible. So communication K has already been handled.
For the record, real quick.
Can you, right.
Yeah. Okay, communication E from the tax collector regarding refund of overpayments for May 2026, which will be filed with tonight's minutes.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do this a little bit differently, but I want to try and get us out of here. Moving on to communication A from the Finance Committee. Councilwoman Akbarelli, will you please make a motion resolved that the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the animal shelter donations totaling $11,576.31 to be deposited in the animal shelter donations account 101-00000-28285.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Garthwaite. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Communication B is being scheduled for a public hearing on 6/8 at 6:57 p.m. Communication C is being scheduled for a public hearing on 6/8 at 6:58 p.m. Moving on to communication D. Councilman Akbarelli, would you please make a motion that the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves the transfer of uncollectible taxes listed on said statement to the suspense tax book, and that the total amount of unpaid taxes so transferred to be reflected in the minutes as $1,202,128.61, with a breakdown as itemized in the resolution.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second from Councilman McMillan. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Councilwoman Akbarelli, would you please make a motion that the City of West Haven may make an application to the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development Community Investment Fund for up to $2,890,000 to undertake the downtown placemaking project and to execute an assistance agreement, and that the mayor is authorized to execute any and all documents to effectuate that resolution.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman McMillan. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. Councilman Ronan, would you make a motion to approve communication F?
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve the appointment of Ralph Lawson III to the Fair Rent Commission. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Heffernan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Councilman Ronan, would you please make a motion on communication G?
So moved.
Thank you. I have a first and a second to appoint Lenora Rodriguez to the Elderly Commission. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Councilman Ronan, would you make a motion on communication L?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second on the reappointment of Teddy McKenna to the, this is health, right?
No.
This is,
Elderly.
oh, to elderly. Do I, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Councilman Ronan, would you make a motion on communication M?
So moved.
I have a motion to approve the appointment of Gene Mullins to the Board of Health, right?
Health, yes, sir.
Health. Second from Councilwoman Tagliatella. Any discussion? She's so gonna kill me. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. It's the Wild West right now. We're winging it. Councilman Ronan, would you make a motion on communication O, please?
So moved.
I have a motion to approve the appointment of Mark Cavallero to the Zoning Board of Appeals Panel of Alternates. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Garthwaite. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion carries. Communication J has been withdrawn. Communication N is scheduled for a public hearing on 6/8 at 6:59. And Councilman Ronan, would you make a motion on communication I, please?
Would you like to read this resolution?
Oh, it's a resolution? Yeah, why don't you read it into the record, this one?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the Honorable City Council of the City of West Haven, your Committee on Tax Deferral, to whom was referred the matter of consideration and action regarding communication I from tonight's agenda, reports that the committee met on the 26th day of May, 2026, to consider said matter. It is a unanimous opinion of the committee that the following motion be presented. Resolution authorizing the City of West Haven to enter into real property tax incentive agreement with Zupardi's Frozen Foods LLC for the redevelopment of 755 First Avenue. Whereas the City of West Haven wishes to encourage industrial, commercial redevelopment, promote real property grand list growth, expand local job opportunities, and stimulate economic activity for the benefit of the residents of the city. And whereas to support such efforts of the state of Connecticut under Connecticut General Statutes, Section 12-65B authorizes municipalities to enter into real property tax incentive agreements that defer real property taxes on improvements made by property owners for redevelopment eligible properties. And whereas the proposed tax incentive agreement will support the redevelopment of 755 First Avenue, West Haven, Connecticut, into a frozen pizza factory and multi-state distribution facility. Therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of West Haven hereby approves and authorizes the city to enter into real property tax incentive agreement with Zupardi's Frozen Foods LLC, which will freeze the real property's base assessed value for 1 year during the construction phase of that project. Thereafter, the property's increased assessment based upon the improvements that Zupardi's Frozen Foods LLC makes thereon will be phased in over 3 years according to the following schedule. Year 1, 33% of the increased real property tax assessment. Year 2, 67% of the increased real property tax assessment. Year 3, 100% of the increased real property tax assessment. Be it further resolved that the agreement shall become null and void should Zupardi's Frozen LLC sell the property within the phase-in period upon delinquency in the payment of real estate taxes due or upon unreasonable delay in the completion of the planned improvements. This agreement will apply to real property only and shall not affect the assessment of personal property. Be it further resolved that Dorinda Boer, as mayor of the City of West Haven, is authorized and directed to execute and deliver any and all documents related to this resolution on behalf of the City of West Haven, and to do and perform all acts and things she deems to be necessary or appropriate to carry out such terms of such documents, including but not limited to executing and delivering all agreements and documents, and I so move.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilman Rona regarding the approval of a real property tax incentive agreement with Parties Frozen Foods LLC. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from everybody. Just put everybody. Let's do that. Let's do that.
I'm gonna put Beaton on mine.
Go, put beat on yours. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations. All right. Any council liaison reports? Seeing none. New business?
Nope.
None.
Oh, public. Hey,
Mayor.
public lands. Public lands, we got.
What do we got?
No, I said 65.
We have two.
Yeah, 8-6 or 6-8 at 6:59.
Did, oh, you said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it, sorry.
Got to keep up.
It's early.
It's early. All right, everybody. Want to wrap up? Mayor, do you have anything?
Sure. Nobody has any new business. I'll just say thank you to everybody who came out for our parade. Thank you for being flexible, coming out 1 o'clock. We watch that weather very carefully. Remind everybody that tomorrow night is our rescheduling of the brick laying ceremony, and also we're dedicating the Vietnam Memorial. We added names. I hope you will all come out. It's at 5:30. I see a little rain in the forecast, but we are going to go forward. And that is all I have. The only thing I want to mention is that at the Capitol, not that the Capitol was perfect, but at the end of the agenda, we would just do a consent calendar and say, all in favor of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Just something to think about.
Mr. Chairman, real quick. Mayor, can I just ask a quick question? I saw this morning Steel is up at Kelsey. They're working hard. I had some constituents ask about next door. Any more information about Jimmy's?
I met with Mr. Gagliardi today for 2 hours. That's all I will say. For sale? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been for sale, but we had a meeting scheduled today and talked about a lot of stuff. He always shares a lot of great history, which is always helpful for me. But yeah, we had a really good conversation. We're very aligned, and supportive. I'm supportive of their efforts and moving forward. Yes, thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you for your thoughtfulness tonight. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We are done. Good night.